What's up? What's up? Welcome. Today is October 15th, 2022. Welcome to the Geekdom 101 special charity live stream. It's been a while since I've been on here live. It's actually been about a couple months, maybe like 6 weeks. Something like that. It's been a while. It's good to see you guys. It's been a while. I'm not expecting a huge turnout tonight, but it is for a good cause. Florida was affected big time by Hurricane Ian, and I was one of the few people that definitely was lucky enough to only have lost power for a little bit of time. And, you know, it could have been a lot worse, man. It could have been a hell of a lot worse, but some of my friends weren't so lucky. There were some down power lines in my area. There was some, you know, I lost power for like 3 days. It could have been a lot longer than that, but I lost it for about 3 days. But I did get it back, and I got lucky. But like a buddy of mine, you know, half of his house got destroyed, completely destroyed. And so what I wanted to do tonight is not just talk to you guys about like what's been going on with y'all, how have y'all been, what your expectations are for the franchise in 2023, but also talk to a few of my buddies as well. If you want to donate to Hurricane Ian, there's two different ways to do it. One is you can ask a super chat question, which of course we'll answer your questions. However, please understand that Google does take a chunk of money from the super chats. Google takes a chunk of money from the super chats, so they're gonna get like a third of it, which I'm not really a big fan of that, to be honest with you. I prefer that we get it all. So if you want to donate, what I'm planning on doing is if you go down below to the description of the stream, there's going to be a little link there, a PayPal link that goes directly to my PayPal. What I'll do is I will gather, and when you donate, when you send me a donation, it could be $5, $10, or $100. I will put in some of my own money, add up all the money that we gather up today, and of course that'll be open all weekend. And then I'm gonna on Monday or Tuesday, or sometime next week, I don't know what day exactly, I might have something to do on Monday, but next week I'm going to go ahead and take the amount of money we raise and donate it to a charity. I did the same thing back in 2017 when the previous hurricane hit Florida. I was out it hit my area, and I was out of power for like 3, 4, 5 days then as well. And I raised some money here to help out victims of the hurricane. I'm actually, it's funny enough, I donated to AmeriCares, which is a charity. And of course, if you want to donate yourself, please do. I mean, it helps out. People have lost their homes due to this damn thing, and nothing can be done about it. So, in 2017, we did it, and I'm still getting letters from AmeriCares. Like, I donated a pretty healthy amount of money. It wasn't like millions or anything like that, but I thought it was good for what I had at the time. And it helped, but man, they just kept sending me letters asking for more. So it's a good charity, but it's also, that happens sometimes. But that's a small price to pay for helping other people. So once again, super chat questions will be taken, but if you really want the full amount to go to the victims of Hurricane Ian, you can always go to PayPal. And you can donate there directly. So you can obviously go to the description down below, and there you can donate however much you feel like you can afford if you can. If you cannot, that's okay too. So no worries on that. So I'm gonna bring in a few friends of mine today. We're gonna be discussing where we think the franchise is gonna go in 2023. Right now, Dragon Ball Super is on hiatus. The manga and the anime are both on hiatus right now, so we're going through a little bit of a break. What I've been doing is I've been focusing more on creating evergreen content that's going to bang out for years down the road. They're not going to get the kind of views they're going to get if there was super news, but they're going to get views long term, and that's kind of the idea. And I've got some huge videos coming out for you for the next, for the remainder of 2022. And then when Super comes back, of course, manga and anime will go back to covering that. I'm kind of enjoying the break, I'm not going to lie. I do miss Dragon Ball Super because it was fun to have something to look forward to every month or even every week. But, we'll make the best of it. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. You understand that? When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. That's the best mentality to have, man. And I'm sending this out to all of you. If you're going through a hard time right now, whether it be recovering from a hurricane or whether it be going through a breakup or going through the death of a pet or a family member, you have a right to grieve. The worst thing you can ever tell somebody, man, listen to me. The worst thing you can ever tell somebody who's going through some shit is get over it. That just makes you a bad friend and it makes you a very bad humanitarian. What you should do is understand that people have different ways of grieving. And if you're going through something hard, life's giving you lemons. So yes, you have a right to grieve, but always remember to squeeze that shit and make lemonade out of it, man. That's the best thing you can do. So let me go ahead and bring in Kwame, who has not been here for a long time. He hasn't been on the channel in a while, and he also has felt the wrath of Florida hurricanes in the past. Let me go ahead and bring him on. Yo, Quinn, we're live. What's up?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because I'm watching your stream, but, the audio's not, time what you're saying.
It's always behind by, a few seconds. What's going on?
I was kind of confused. Yeah, no, everything's going good. I was just listening to you talk. The last thing I just heard you say before you popped me in was, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So, yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. And you've known me for now about, actually, this month. Quinn, you realize that in 2 days, it's our anniversary of the first time we met in person. Don't tell them what you were doing here, but...
Yeah, I remember.
In 2 days, it's the anniversary of when you and I met in person, bro. So I'm glad to have you back on. And I'll tell everybody this, and it's no secret. When I first started doing YouTube, you were one of the first guys to give me an opportunity to appear on your channel, and that was cool. So, I'll always return the favor if you ever need anything promoted or anything. I'm not going to charge you the thousands that I charge brands. I'll just charge you.
All I will say, Danny, is I think you might want to use better word choice than return the favor, because, that might be interpreted in certain ways.
Yeah, you know what? You're right about that, bro. But you know what? At least Twitter will love us, bro, because you can't be a straight male anymore, bro. Not on Twitter.
Yeah, but I will say this though, man. I do think it's kind of hilarious because these young whippersnappers that are coming into the stream right now don't remember that there was a point in life where people actually used Skype, and Discord wasn't a thing. Like, some of these kids probably don't remember when Discord wasn't a thing. Like, yeah, guys, there was a time where people used Skype for like 4 or 5 years, you know?
Yeah, no,
Those are the good old days.
well, Skype. It's funny because I still use. So you know what's funny about Skype is, I use Discord to talk to like 90% of like our friend group.
Yeah.
The only people I talk to on Skype are like voice actors and like people in the industry. Like I don't talk to anybody. Like none of these. It's like these older people, like people in their 40s and 50s and 60s. Well, I don't know if I know any in their 60s, but these dudes don't jump to Discord, bro. They just stay on Skype forever.
Yeah. It's for the boomers and the Generation X people.
So right, that is what it's for. So we're gonna be. I'm gonna bring Jordan in here shortly, but I wanted to talk to you first because you were the victim. You've been the victim of this storm, and for once you didn't get anything this time, right?
Yeah, the crazy thing about, well, I mean, obviously in Antarctica we get a lot of snowstorms down here. So
Blizzards,
one of the
bro. Break the ice.
one of the
break
things
the ice.
one of the things about it is that this storm actually just felt like a slightly heavier rainy day. It wasn't that different from what normal South Florida rain was. So honestly, if you just told me it was just a normal rainy day in Miami and that no hurricane existed, I would have believed you. That's how light it was.
I don't know if I've told you this, bro. I don't think I have, but I had some power outages, but the guy who got it real bad was our mutual friend JD, bro. JD.
Yeah.
And I don't mean JD with the degrees who's been on the channel before. I mean our real life friend JD. He lives down there in Punta Gorda. And that whole side of Florida, the opposite side of Miami. Dude, half of Fort Myers was underwater, bro. I don't know if it's ever. You realize that like the map of Florida maybe changed forever, bro, for a very long time. You know how fucked up that is, bro?
No, it is, especially when all those scientists say that Florida in hundreds of years is going to be underwater. So it's just like a bad premonition,
I don't know if I believe all that, but you know what?
Yeah.
This storm may have changed my mind, man. But I want to talk Dragon Ball with you, bro. I got some super chat questions, but first I want to ask you. So it's been a few weeks since Superhero has been out, and you and I got to see the movie early by hopping on Air Force Geek and going to Japan, but then we got to see it dubbed, a good dub, really good dub, good script. What I wanted to ask you is now, and I want to ask the whole chat room this. It's not just a question for you, but I want to ask the chat room this. It's been a few weeks since Super has been out. Some of you guys in the chat have seen it multiple times. I want to ask you, do you still have your feelings changed about Dragon Ball Super? So, Superhero. So I want to ask, let me actually put up a poll real quick. Do you still like Dragon Ball Superhero? And if you hate it, then just say you did. But I don't think a lot of folks hated this movie, bro. Like, I feel like it really wasn't a hated movie, dude. Like, I saw some folks say I didn't like it, but I don't know anybody who straight up hated the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, from all of the friends that I have, and, just subscribers and people I interact with online, it doesn't seem like this movie's really hated. It's just that I don't think this movie had the hype that other Dragon Ball movies did. And
that's Toei's fault.
I'm gonna just kind of break the ice. I think it's one of the things where, as a personal Dragon Ball fan, where Piccolo and Gohan are my two favorite characters, this movie feels like it was legitimately created for me.
Yeah, not just you, a lot of people.
Right. But specifically because those are my two favorite characters, it felt very personal to me. But I have to be objective and say that if you had a movie that featured like Broly with Goku and Vegeta attaining these forms, fighting a new character. Well, actually not a new character, but a rehashed popular character. I think that would have been better for the banks. But for a good story, I think this was completely original, and I thought it was just solid. Was it perfect? There were some issues with it, but for the most part, I thought it was pretty good.
Man, I don't know if we're ever going to get a perfect Dragon Ball movie. I think Battle of Gods was like close, and in some ways, Broly, but I do like how... And we've talked about this on the channel a lot, how Dragon Ball is very corporate now. Now, I'm not saying I like that part. Let me get to what I was going to say, which is they left Gohan completely out of Broly, and Piccolo had a very small role. This
Yeah.
movie was like the reverse of that, where Goten, Trunks, 18, Krillin all had stuff to do, which is what
Right.
they didn't do anything in in Broly, and then Gohan and Piccolo got the shine. And I mean, I know that a lot of our friends used to fuck with you about being a Piccolo fan, but I would
Yeah.
have never in my wildest dreams ever thought that Toriyama would not only give Piccolo this much of a power boost, not only give him a new form, but give him two new forms in one movie. How often
Yeah.
do you see one Dragon Ball movie or one Dragon Ball property give somebody, you almost never see two new forms in one arc. I mean, you see it, you saw it in
yeah.
the Cell Saga, but like besides that, when do you see that? And I guess the Trunks arc we had Rose and Ikari, but like it's
Yeah.
still really rare, and we got two in one movie.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean the first example I thought about was the Tournament of Power where Goku unlocked Ultra Instinct Omen and he also unlocked Ultra Instinct Mastered. But it's one of those crazy things where I feel like the formula for what they did for this movie kind of feels like Broly's Second Coming, which kind of sounds like an adult movie.
They borrowed from that and from Bio Broly, bro. They definitely
Yeah.
they did Bio Broly better than Bio Broly, in my opinion.
Right. But here's the thing, though, Geekdom, and I was talking to our neighborhood-friendly Jack Splade about this. The thing that made the original Broly movie so cool and why the nostalgia and the movie itself holds up so well is because it was filled with characters that we gave a shish kebab about. And what happens is that when you have Broly fighting Piccolo and Gohan and Goku and Vegeta and Future Trunks and all of those characters on a distant planet, there's like more tension to it, and it really feels like a group fight. Whereas if you just make Goku and Vegeta have all the fun, it kind of takes away from that. Like, this guy's so strong that like we all have to jump in to like take him down. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's really what made the fight very different.
No, and that is something that's worth thinking about. I mean, one thing about Dragon Ball that I think we as the community need to accept, and obviously this chat is only a small percentage of the giant overall community, and
Right.
this is something I was thinking about today when I was having lunch. Toei is taking Dragon Ball, and I want y'all to think about this. I want everybody out here to think about this. They're doing some real experimentation now with the series. And what I mean by that is they're experimenting and they're dipping their toes in new things. What I mean is a couple things. First of all, the whole CGI aspect for the film. That was a new idea. Dragon Ball had not really done a whole movie like that. That was a first gamble. Number two,
Yeah.
which is the news that Anime AJ broke a few weeks ago about this upcoming web series, this Dragon Ball web series. That's new. Dragon Ball has never had a web series before. That is brand new. So, I feel like Toei's trying different things. I mean, obviously having a movie where Goku and Vegeta are only like 15% of the whole movie, that in itself is a gamble. I remember doing streams, and some of you who have been here from all my streams, you know this. I have asked you guys this question. I said, do you think Toei will have the balls to make a Dragon Ball movie without Goku? And most of you guys said no, and I know why you said no. And this movie wasn't without Goku, but it was definitely a lot less Goku. Way
Yeah.
less than we ever thought.
I mean, we have to go like back a long time to like Broly's Second Coming and like BoJack Unbound, where like he was barely in it, or like
Right.
Bio Broly is a perfect example of like
Yeah,
Goku not
movies
being in it at all.
9, 10, and 11 are void of Goku.
Right.
Yeah.
And, the thing about it is that I think that it's risky because the thing is, Geekdom, is that when you take out Goku and Vegeta, I think that is really, really risky because you got to keep one in. You know what I mean? Like, at least, in Broly's Second Coming, there was like Gohan and stuff, but Bio Broly didn't even have Goku, Gohan, or Vegeta.
Yeah,
and I think
Goku
that
had
was a
one
really risky
scene.
movie.
Goku had the one
Yeah.
scene at the end where he's like, I gotta go to hell and fight Broly, and that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no
And
Vegeta,
yeah.
no Piccolo at all.
That's really crazy, man. And that's a really, really risky thing. But I feel like, though, even though it's not Broly, I feel like BoJack Unbound had a good enough element where even though he wasn't a major character, he was in it enough that we cared and had like an important role in like where you saved Gohan at the end. But to
Yeah.
really keep Goku and Vegeta out is a very risky thing.
Yeah, and they gave us that fight. We've talked about this before, some of you guys know. They gave us the fight between Goku and Vegeta on Beerus's planet just to please the Goku Vegeta fans so they have something. That fight could have been completely chopped out of the film. It would not have affected the plot at all. And they had remember, there was a scene in the trailer. Y'all remember how in the trailer there was that scene of Goku doing a backflip training with Broly? They didn't even make the movie. So that scene didn't even get put in the final movie, which means that there might have been an idea at one point to have them spar. We didn't even get that. So it's more than obvious that Toei Animation is hitting the reset button right now. However, I will say this. People have been asking me, what's going to happen in 2023? We're going to talk about that here, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of plans for things to come. I mean, look, I'm not going to criticize Dragon Ball The Breakers, but obviously you guys who are in this stream know that this is not a new Dragon Ball game. It's not a fully new one. It's an add-on for Xenoverse. It's $20. It's almost like, here's an appetizer. This is not like a Fighters or Fusions or Tenkaichi, right? So I feel like they're just basically giving us something because they have a contract with Bandai where there has to be a new Dragon Ball game every year. So they're giving us little like appetizers for a big surge of new content to come. The manga is out for a limited time. It's on temporary hiatus. It will return. The anime will return. There will be another movie. We know all this for a fact. We have a web series now. This is not even a secret. This is all confirmed, right? It's all been, some of it's leaked, but it's been some of that's been confirmed by Akio-san. And there's obviously going to be new games because we can't have new Dragon Ball games. When have they not put out Dragon Ball games? Can you believe that during the PS2 era, when we got the most Dragon Ball games, Budokai 1, 2, 3, Tenkaichi 1, 2, 3, we got Super DBZ, we got Raging Blast was PS3 though, right?
Don't remember how crappy Dragon Ball Sagas was.
Sagas, that's right. But that counts though. We also got Revenge of King Piccolo. We got the Legacy of Goku. This is when there was no new Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was over in Japan and finishing up in the United States at the time. That was when there was nothing new. And they still gave us a fuckload of games. So they're going to give us obviously more games when more stuff comes out. Let me real quick get to these super chat questions, Quinn. I want to ask you about the future in a minute, but I got to get these out of the way. Once again, if you want to donate, proceeds from this stream will go to relieving those affected by Hurricane Ian. I will put in some of my own money. Obviously, we always try to help out. I'm just here to try to raise money and do it for a good cause. Because I thought about it, and I have a platform. I don't have the biggest channel in history, but I have enough to get something for people who want to help out. And you can do it while talking to us about the franchise. So let me get to these super chats, bro. First of all, Clarence Z says, "Hey, Geekdom, love your work and you're an amazing guy. As a fellow Floridian, the stream is awesome." He said that right when the stream started, but I think you meant the idea behind it, which, Lord Vito, thank you for the muscle flex emoji. Tyler Miller says, "Hey, Geekdom, I'm glad to be part of the channel. Keep up the good work. I look forward to more future videos and streams." Yeah, we ain't going nowhere. Gaming Hub UK, to the people of Florida, he gives €2. I think that's euros. Dante Espinoza, "I'm from Florida, and I follow your channel since the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. My question, do you think they would have... Hold on. Do you think the hot shots for Dragon Ball will ever do an anime about future Trunks? Well, I don't know what you mean by the hot shots, but I think what he's asking is if they'll ever do a future Trunks anime.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I think you and I talked about this a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was you and I. I don't think we've seen the last of Future Trunks, bro. I think we'll see him back at some point. I don't think that his story is done.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really good timing because a few months ago I uploaded a video called Future Trunks Needs His Own Movie. And I really feel that way because I think he's the perfect character that can be either in the anime or he's self-contained, and he's also a character that people give shish kebabs about. So, I think because of all of that, I would say that Future Trunks would be fantastic.
I don't mean to repeat myself, but I've said this before, and a lot of you guys know what I'm going to say, but for me, I'm all in for the next generation. If Trunks knocks up Mai and has a baby with her, and we now have a quarter Saiyan kid, and then we have Broly knocking up Chi-Lai, and they have a kid, we now have more kids to go along with Goten, Trunks, Pan, I don't know if Brawl's gonna fight, but you know these
Well,
characters, and we have new future generations. Dude, I would love it if like Trunks and Mai have a kid, and the kid gets corrupted and turns evil, and that's a new story arc. There's a lot of things they could do with that, you know.
yeah. Well, I think that's really interesting, Beerus, Danny. But I just think that
Beerus.
I don't know why I said that.
I don't know why you
But
said that either.
I don't know, Freudian slip. But Danny, here's the thing though. I think that your chat is gonna have a very, very interesting time imagining Broly having a kid with Sheila because are they genetically compatible?
Well, he probably has a huge cock, but I mean, I don't know, bro. Maybe she can. Do I really want to go down that road right now,
Well,
bro?
I mean, I'm just saying, man. I mean, humans and Saiyans are similar enough, like humans and the Neanderthals, but like exactly how would Broly and Sheila work? Would you have like a light skinned green kid?
Yeah, well, the people have done the fan art, bro. Like,
Yeah.
remember, there was that whole debate last year when that picture of Chila came out holding the bag. I thought it was a baby, bro. I mean, I did a poll. Dude, I did a poll on this channel, and some of you motherfuckers, it was like almost 50-50. I think it was like
Man.
53% thought that she was pregnant, and 47% thought she wasn't. It was really close, so people were very down the middle about that. I think people
Yeah.
want to see. I think a lot of Dragon Ball fans want to see Trunks and Broly as fathers because it's a new way to write those characters. How
Right.
will Broly behave as a dad? How will
Yeah.
Trunks behave? They're totally different characters with very unique genetic makeup. I think that could be a direction they can go in.
No, that's awesome.
Super Alvin Jackson, keep up the awesome content. Glad you survived. Ian, DBS manga coming back in November or not till next year. I do not know when it's coming back. If I knew, I would freak. It's definitely going to be, it'll be out in 2023, but I couldn't tell you what month. I can't say it's going
Yeah.
to be April or June or it's not going to be that far though. Overlord Parker, hold on, I'm going to actually talk more about that here in a minute.
Yeah.
Overlord Parker says, we were lucky up here in Jacksonville, but good to see you back on here. Yeah, dude, even people in Orlando got hit harder than Miami, and that's something. Joseph Lipkin says, not Johnny Lipschitz, bro, that's your boy.
Oh,
Joseph
boy.
Lipkin said, kind of random. I doubt he's still around. Kind of random. Why was there a Yard Rat in the Tournament of Power in Universe 2? Was this a mistake, or can there be Saiyans in other universes too, just not the mirrored? Well, that's a good question, actually. First of all, it was not a mistake. You can't create a character by mistake, bro.
Yeah.
You don't just trip and fall and draw a new character, homeboy. Nobody has that kind of talent, including Toriyama, all right? It's not a mistake. It is a Yard Rat from Universe 2, and we don't know anything about him. We don't know if a Yard Rat left Universe 6 to go to Universe 2 or Universe 7. We don't know if there's different Yard Rats. We were never told.
Yeah, it's interesting.
As far as can there be Saiyans in other universes, I don't think so because of the fact that Universe 6 is a mirror of 7. However, that doesn't mean that at some point in the distant past, there wasn't a Saiyan who may have gone to a different universe and reproduced and created a whole new race somewhere else. There are so
Yeah.
many, Quinn, we talked about this, you and I. When Toriyama introduces the 12 universes, there are so many possibilities for storylines. We're getting fucking granola and this lame ass fucking like gamma shit, which I like the movie, but come on. You've got so much potential for like cool shit that they just haven't touched on yet, including these ideas of characters going to different universes. There could be different like Majins. There could be different variations on the demon realm. There's a lot of things they could do that we just don't get in Dragon Ball. So my number one wish list for the future of Dragon Ball is have some fucking balls and give us something new, bro. I'm tired of this same old Universe 7 shit. I'm tired of freaking these battles in Universe 7 or Frieza getting a new form. I want something new. I love Frieza, but I want something new. What do you think?
No, I totally agree with you. And Mr. Bweezy Bird asked a very interesting question
Bindle,
here.
bro. That's Bindle.
Yes, I know. I'm very aware of that. He's asking
Be
me,
Wheezy Bird, bro.
was Frieza very strict with gas? Well, I will say to you there,
Well, you know, you and
Bindle-
I are not strict with gas, bro.
Well, but
Out of
I'll
our
say this
friend
though.
group, you and I are the least restrictive, bro.
But I will say though, Frieza was very strict with Alec, wasn't he, Geekdom? He was very strict with him.
Oh yeah. What'd you think about that whole thing, bro? Because you almost never cover the manga on your channel.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you like that ending, bro? Because like I liked
Okay.
it, but it also shit on Granola as a character.
To be completely honest with you, here's my thing. I feel like this upcoming Frieza arc is damage control, and here's why. Long story short, I basically talked about the fact that I feel like the arc started off really good. It had really interesting characters in a direction, but it completely fell on its face. And I feel like Frieza, even though he's a reused villain, can come in and do damage control for a failing arc. And I will be honest that his entrance was awesome, even though it just makes that the Granola arc was complete trash. But the arc,
Yes.
but that entrance, the way
Yes.
that he killed like the zombie gas and just came in and he was like, he's black now, and then he just trashed Goku and Vegeta, and they were so pathetic he just left them there. That was one of the most alpha entrances, like probably ever in Dragon Ball
Because he
history.
turned black, is that why?
Of course, bro, he's a brother now.
He's a brother now, even though he's supposed to be the racist slave owner. He's now.
Exactly,
If you
bro.
can't beat him, join him, bro. That's pretty much what he did
Exactly.
there.
Calls
Yeah.
Namekians slugs and Saiyans monkeys.
The power scaling though is completely out of whack, bro. Just
Yeah.
completely. Like people were talking about how Gohan and Orange Piccolo broke the scale, and I'm not so sure about that. I can see why
Yeah.
somebody would say that, but they can still kind of fix it with Goku and Vegeta's progress. But Frieza. And the scale's been broken all throughout Super, but this thing, bro, Frieza took that damn scale, bro, and shattered it, bro. It was like me 7 years ago when I used to get on the scale, bro. I would break it, bro. Not
Well,
so
all I
much
would-
now.
All I would say to that is at least they gave us a 10-year time frame, which is 30 times as long as how much he trained in Resurrection F to justify him being this ridiculously strong.
I know, but to
Yeah.
catch up with him, bro, like it's gonna take a long time, dude, and
Yeah.
that's an issue. I mean, it's, part of me thinks, and I know I'm not right about this. Part of me thinks that they just came up with that ending because they were like, "Fuck it, we have to reset.
Yeah.
We have to reboot. We have to reset our batteries here and reset everything."
Damage
So,
control, bro.
You realize that we are kind of now. You realize how we are now back to how shit was at the beginning of Z. Like,
Yeah.
we're literally back to where shit was the beginning of Z. Frieza's strongest. Goku and Vegeta are beneath him. Gohan has potential to be stronger, and he did it in the movie. Piccolo, you know, he's strong. But we're literally back to now Frieza's the king shit. Which hasn't
Yeah.
been that way since the Namek arc.
No, I mean, if you don't count like Resurrection F, but yeah.
Well,
I
he was
totally
only,
agree with you.
but he still lost though. Like he was stronger,
Yeah.
but he didn't know how to control his body. Now he definitely
Right.
knows. So Bon Jedi Ranger, hello everyone. Thanks for being a part of this charity stream. That means so much to myself and many Floridians. Please donate when you can. Yes, and make sure if you donate, you can do it through Super Chat or through PayPal. In the description is my PayPal. Send it through. Next week I will send all the money directly to victims of this hurricane. Matchstick Gamer. It's been a while since I've seen this guy. Neil. Hope this helps a lot to me, but not much overall. Well, it does help, bro. $155 super chat. I stayed during Michael, so my heart goes out to everyone that was affected by Ian. Bless you all. Sorry, no questions for you this time. Danny just wanted to help. Well, that's appreciated very much. Black Knight, thank you for the super chat. Super Alvin Jackson, thank you for the super chat. Bindle said, you already answered that question. Okay, there it is. French Toast Man says, not powdered toast, French Toast Man. Hey, Geekdom, do you think Trunks can find a way to some Dragon Balls and revive everyone? Do you mean like in the future? I don't think so, bro. The Super Dragon Balls are gone.
I mean, the only thing I could think of, well, I mean,
Namek.
his normal future was erased, but I mean, the only thing I could think of is Namek.
Yeah,
But I mean,
he would have done it already, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he would have done it
It's
already. Like, and that's been a problem since all the way back in, it's been a problem since all the way back in Z, dude. Because that Cell Saga, there's so many problems with that arc, even though I love it. So, what do you think? I haven't asked you this yet. What do you think about this web anime? Because a lot of people have theories. I think people in the chat, and a lot of, not everyone, but some people in the chat and other people in the community think that this is going to be like a temporary thing that's going to focus on like Yamoshi. I'm not so sure about that. This could actually be where they continue off from where the manga left off or Dragon Ball Super. I remember somebody said, somebody asked me the other day, they were like, how would you feel if the manga was done and the web series replaced it? And I don't know how I would feel about that, because I feel like that's not a good idea, only because they're changing mediums. They're going from one storytelling vehicle to another, and that's not an adaptation. That's an actual changeover. So to me, I'm not sure if I really vibe with that. I think it should be traditional manga, anime, movies. Web series can be like a placeholder, but I think ultimately it's got something bigger has to come out of it. So what do you think about this web series?
No, I agree with that 100% because I think a web series is really good for like adapting side stories and stuff, but for like a main story, it just doesn't seem practical. And also, you remember Dragon Ball Super's kind of in a weird situation where like the anime came before the manga, but the anime's been gone for so long that the manga caught up to the anime, so we're kind of in like this weird area, you know?
Yeah, the movie is ahead of the manga's ahead of the anime, and I don't even know where the hell the web anime's at. So,
dude, it's a cluster crap.
I do feel like, my opinion, I do think that it's confusing for a lot of people. Like, I can only imagine. And by the way, Quinn, this theory, no pun intended, was actually confirmed to me the other day. So, so you and I know what's going on. Mm-hmm. People in the chat know what's going on. People on Reddit know what's going on. Even people on Facebook, some know what's going on. The other day, a buddy of mine, Star Wars Theory, the biggest Star Wars channel on YouTube, he's covering Dragon Ball now. And he made a video, and the video was, why didn't Gohan use Gohan Beast in the moral arc? Now, I know what you're thinking. Obviously, the movie takes place after the moral arc. We know that. He didn't know that. And he watches my content, and he didn't even know that. So what that means, Quinn, is that there are probably so many casual fans out there, not on the internet, not on the boards, or even if they are on the internet, they don't really watch every video I put out, or every video you put out, or Seth, or MJ, or whomever. They don't know what the fuck's going on. So they go to this movie and they see that Pan's older and blah, 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 blah. No mention of Ultra Ego. No mention of anything we see in the manga. And they're probably, I don't know if I ever told you this, bro. I went to see Broly in theaters with one of my exes back in, when it came out, right? And there was a dude next to me who was like, oh, I know what's next, that Universe 13 thing. The Universe 13 thing is fan fiction. It's fan manga. So there's people online who don't even watch the videos. They just watch the names of the videos and they go, oh, that must be what's next. So there's probably so many fans out there who have no fucking clue what's going on. There's also anime-only viewers who don't even know there's a manga. Like, I know it's hard for some people to grasp this. I know it is. I know it is, bro. Because people are so in the bubble. They're so in the Dragon Ball bubble. But if you leave the bubble and look at the greater community, the Toonami people, the younger kids, they have no idea what's going on, bro.
Yeah, I could make a whole video just talking about what you said there, Geekdom. But to sum it up, I would basically say that we have the benefit, more so you than me, that we've been in this community for so long that we've seen it evolve, so we kind of know the full picture. But if you're trying to get into the community now, it's very difficult to figure out, do I watch Kai? Do I watch the OG dub? Do I watch this? Well, what's out of order here? Like, it's just very hard to follow Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is a very difficult series to follow. It may not be that complicated, but in terms of its structure, it's an extremely complicated show to follow because the series is massive and there's so many different anime variants of it. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked if people who saw GT were like, wait, is Super and GT the same thing? Like, it's really hard, man.
Right, exactly. Those are the real casual babbies. And most of them all, all they hear about is, oh, GT's not canon, so it sucks. You know, that's the real, like, I can't talk to those people, bro. They piss me off. But if there's somebody out there who doesn't know what's going on, I do have sympathy for them because I can't even blame them. Somebody in the chat right now was like, yo, Geekdom, didn't the producer say they're on parallel continuities? No, that's not what he said. Anime and manga are on different continuities. It's a different continuity, right?
Yeah.
The only thing they have linked is Broly as of right now. That could change in the future. So, yes, but once again, How many Dragon Ball fans actually know what the producers say? Unless you are somebody who consistently watches my content or anybody on YouTube, or you're following Reddit, you're following the reporters in the fandom, Chronicles, Hype, unless you are in this fandom, a lot of people have no idea, and I can't even blame them for being confused. If we got Star Wars Theory, who's a content creator, who watches my videos and still didn't even watch the video where I explained that superheroes after granola, and he's confused, so what does that say about folks who don't even watch anything? You know what I mean? I kind of feel bad for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just a lot of information to really catch up on.
It is. So, real quick, let me get to this real quick super chat here from Self-Loathing Gives Me Life. Do you think Gohan and Piccolo will be more prominent from now on, or was it just a one-time thing with superhero? I've already answered that question in the past, but well, first of all, I'm going to ask you, and then I'll give my thoughts. You go ahead. Yeah.
So, if I'm going to be completely objective and unbiased to my two favorite characters, I would say that I think they're going to stay kind of around the same that they've always been. And what I mean by that is, when you have characters like Goku and Vegeta who are like the two top guys, I think that Gohan and Piccolo are always going to be like the second, third, fourth, like strong guys that are kind of there when Goku and Vegeta aren't. And I think that's kind of like their permanent role. However, because Dragon Ball continues like this long-term Gohan has infinite potential theme, even though his potential is always unlocked, but he always seems to have more potential. I think whenever you need Gohan to just get pissed off and just beat somebody just because the plot needs it, they can always do that.
I feel like a little bit more positive. I think this was done purposely to get Gohan and Piccolo back on an even playing field. No matter how lazy the writing is, and yeah, I could see if you think it's lazy, it kind of is. This was done to get Gohan and Piccolo on equal, or at least relative to Goku and Vegeta. What I think they should do, and again, I don't want to say I've talked about this in the past because some folks have not seen everything I've talked about, and you and I haven't talked about this, but I think what I would love them to do is take a page out of the MCU, which is you have two different events going on at the same time. You have something going on in space, and that could be what Goku, Vegeta, and Broly are dealing with, whether it be a villain or they're in a different universe. Then on Earth, while they're in space, dealing with some other Black Frieza, whatever, on Earth, that's when we have Gohan and Piccolo as the heroes. Then that way, you kind of have like Dragon Ball Cosmic and then Dragon Ball Earth. And then that way, you can have two different conflicts going on at the same time, which is going to allow for longer arcs, better storytelling, and also it allows each of the two different factions, the Goku, Vegeta, Broly faction, or the Earth faction, which is Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks 18, 17, and they have their own problem. I don't see why they don't split it. I'm not saying forever, Quinn, but I'm saying for an arc or two, have like an A team and a B team, then they both do something. Why not? Why can't this fucking series do something cool like that? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, Geekdom, would you say to a much lesser extent that the Moro arc was kind of like that?
Well, Gohan and Piccolo did show up in the big, like, battle, right? But what I'm talking about is, and that's true, but I'm talking about...
But, like, simultaneously.
Simultaneously, but two separate villains.
Right.
Two separate villains altogether.
Goku and Vegeta were trading,
Goku and Vegeta are off chasing Black Frieza. While they're off doing that with Beerus, Whis, so it's going to be basically different teams. Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, Whis, Broly on Team A. Team B is Piccolo, Gohan, 18, 17, the Earthlings, and they have their own conflict. Why can't they do that for at least a couple arcs? I'm not saying the whole forever, but just a couple arcs. Go ahead.
Geekdom, I actually was processing all the times I could ever see something like that. The only time I could remember something like that happening in Dragon Ball was in Fusion Reborn.
You're right. Technically, if you can technically say the Garlic Jr. saga, but that's true. That's other than that, that's it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's something they haven't really done, like have two different things going on at once. Let me real quick get some more of these out of the way. Daisy, I sent my PayPal donation. This is my personal contribution to you, showing my love and support. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it, and it will go to good use. Thank you, Stu Man, for your donation. Thank you, Savior. He says, Nozawa's getting older. What's your take on the future of Dragon Ball going forward? Until she's dead, she's Goku. That's it. That's how it's going to be. I talked to somebody very, 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 very high up in Dragon Ball who I haven't been able to talk to since because everyone's shutting the fuck up about Dragon Ball now, probably because Toei doesn't want them to leak anything to me. And they told me straight up that they do not have a backup plan. If Nozawa passes away, they're going to have to cast somebody else, but they don't have anybody in mind right now. Now, whether or not that's still the case, she's not even sick yet, so we'll see. What were you going to say?
I was just gonna ask you, Geekdom, do you think they can kind of try something like what the whole James Earl Jones situation, where like they kind of roboticize or like make like an artificial version of her voice that's close enough that people wouldn't care?
Possibly. The technology, we're still about maybe 5 years away from that tech being mastered.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing about what you just brought up. There's a lot of voice actors in the community who I've spoken to. I'll tell you the names when we get off the air, who are deathly afraid of that. Because here's what they can do now. They can sign you up to be a voice actor, and then they can replicate your voice. And now, if they do that, there is grounds for a lawsuit unless you sign away the rights to your voice, which they can actually do now. You can sign away your voice, and then what happens is they'll pay you like a lump sum or an annual salary to
like
use
royalties.
Royalties. The problem is it's still going to be less than what they make hourly to dub these shows. And so a lot of voice actors are really scared right now. Like, and I'm talking about not anime voice actors. I'm talking about all voice actors are actually very afraid of technology. It's almost like how, remember when Walmart started doing self-checkout, and then like now that we have self-registers at McDonald's, like, okay, we still have human employees at Walmart and McDonald's, but it's going to be a lot less, bro. And that goes, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, bro, but you could see jobs starting to kind of, dissipate. And that's not good, bro, because the economy needs more workers. So stay in school. Joseph Lipkin, he once again says, Geekdom, I was talking about making the Yardrat Universe 2 the mistake, not the character itself. No, it wasn't a mistake. I told you that. Now, with Black Frieza, does that mean more Goku and Vegeta transformations are inevitable, even though we are over transformations? Unfortunately, yes. I think we will get more evolutions of UI and UE. I just think we're stuck with this. Do I like it? No, but I think we're stuck with it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I made a whole video about like the Ultra Instinct wall theory. I think that it kind of just makes sense for Goku to try and perfect this, because it seems like the show is making it pretty clear that there's nothing really better than this, because Ultra Instinct is basically what the angels do, and Ultra Ego is basically what gods of destruction are. So you can't really get higher than that, I think.
Yeah, you'd have to. The quest now is to like master it, and then once they like really master it, and then once they really master it, like all you gotta do it from that point forward is train in base. But I feel like Dragon Ball is just gonna keep introducing more things, bro. Remember, we straight up said in the manga that the Grand Priest's version of UI is even better than his. So there is a level above the angels. It's just I feel like if Goku achieves that level, we're now going into like God is dead territory, not in the sense of like the real life thing, but you know what I mean? Like I don't want the main character to be that powerful, because then the drama's gone. And it's just, I don't like that.
Like, how can any mortal or god surpass you when you're stronger than all the mortals and gods?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't like, I've never liked that. Dragon Ball's always been walking that razor's edge for many years in Super, and they got to really scale that back. Rudy Grulun says, when the manga comes back, do you think it'll take place right after Granola or superhero movie? And is the movie considered... I'm not even going to answer that last question, bro. You know what that word... I'm sick and tired of answering that question, so I'm not going to answer it. But thank you for your donation. But I will answer your first question. I don't know. I do not know when the manga comes back, if it'll be after superhero or not. I have no idea. The Black Frieza arc might not even be next. There might be something else happening. And by the way, Rudy, I'm not going to be rude, but if you want your question answered, bro, you should probably, that second question, you should watch more of my videos, dude. Nailer, thank you for your super chat. Golden Thumb, my favorite is Krillin. Any chance he unlocks power like Gohan and Piccolo, since his power was also unleashed on Namek? No chance. Sorry to tell you, bro. He's never going to be a strong character. I don't see that ever happening. Thank you, Tyler. Lil Bear Gaming, what if Frieza stops being evil? That's not going to happen. They've already had that chance, bro, multiple times. That's not happening. And just does what Vegeta and Goku do, use them to get stronger. That's not happening, bro. If I don't understand the idea behind, I don't understand how anybody could want Frieza to be a good guy. That he's not Frieza anymore. It's like the whole thing where the whole Masako X thing. Oh, Raditz should turn good. Well, he's not Raditz anymore. Like,
I mean, one of those things where it's like
he just becomes a sidekick nobody cares about. He becomes the next Tenshin Han. That's so uncreative and bad.
But I could understand where people are coming from because we've seen some really, really evil villains make a switch, but there was a specific reason.
But not
Vegeta's
Frieza. Not Frieza, bro. And Frieza's had how many chances Frieza had? Like 6 or 7? He ain't never gonna turn good.
And in Majin Buu's case, people like to bring up Buu turned good, but Buu was really more like a naughty kid that didn't know any better.
He was also the spirit of the Grand Supreme Kai.
Right.
It wasn't just the demonic Buu never turned good until he was reincarnated, and that's not really even the same character. Real quick, Class Clown says Toyotaro said that silver-haired UI isn't supposed to struggle in a fight. Yeah, he says a lot of things, bro. In case you haven't fucking figured this out by now, he says a lot of shit that doesn't make any sense. Do you think they made Goku UI black again to keep silver-haired unbeatable? I don't think so, bro. I think they literally, and he said it himself. I did a whole video about this. They literally wrote themselves into a corner and made Goku too perfect, and they had to bring him down. That's literally what Toyotaro said, almost verbatim. By the way, leave a like if you're stopping by, man. We got over 900 people and only 391 likes, bro. Get those likes up. And thank you for your donations, man. I really appreciate it. Like I said earlier, proceeds from this stream are going to go to help Hurricane Ian victims. A lot of folks lost their homes. People were stranded on islands. I was lucky enough to not be, too hurt. Same thing with Quinn, but there were others who maybe not the same. By the way, I'm going to bring in some more people here in a minute, but I gotta get through these super chats. There's a lot of them, and they're donating, so I definitely want to answer their question. Ross Underwood, the manga references Broly. Did the wish to be the strongest include him? Yes. That means Granola before his power was stronger than Broly. Yes. I don't know why you're asking me this now if it's been the case for like a year. And Goku and Vegeta are now too. Frieza can one-shot Broly. Yes. If Frieza can one-shot and knock out Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct Goku and Vegeta, Frieza could probably destroy Broly with flicking his fucking finger now. Yes.
Yeah.
You answered your own question, dude, but yes. To answer your question, yes to the entire thing. Yes, Frieza is Granola stronger than Broly. Goku and Vegeta surpassed Broly in this last arc. And Frieza surpassed everyone. So it is what it is, man. If you don't like it, take it up with Toyotaro, bro. I'm not writing this shit. Nailer says, do you think Orange Piccolo could defeat SSB Goku? Yes. Quinn, what do you think? Unbiased.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Every time I hear the word Orange Piccolo, I kind of cringe a little bit inside. But yeah, I would say, I'd say that he'd have a pretty good chance, but definitely not against Ultra.
So you don't like the name Orange Piccolo, or you don't like the form?
It's just such a corny name. Orange isn't like a cool. Orange isn't a cool like color name. Like orange feels awkward, like blue or red, but Orange Piccolo. It's just I don't know.
Well,
I don't buy it, bro.
That's like the whole thing with Golden Frieza, Black Frieza, Rose. They like to name things after colors now. Remember Super Saiyan. So what do you like better, Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan? Because they're both corny, just in different ways.
Come on, Danny. You know what the old school Kwame would have said to how much I hated that name. It was the worst name in Dragon Ball history.
Really? See,
I think so.
People have said that Granola and Gas are the worst names. I don't know about that.
Well, no, I'm just saying for transformations because I think Dragon Ball Superhero is like the worst title for a movie. It just sounds redundant, The superhero just I don't know, it just feels awkward.
I like how Brazilian guy says, I didn't expect for the Red Army to be the villains of Superhero. Well, that means you didn't see any trailers or no promotional material or nothing. Chris Evans, not the actor. He says, oh, wait, hold on. Let me get to it. Tyler Avils says, future Goten arc, he should be Goku.
Oh,
no.
God. Future Goten?
This again, bro. It's like we're reliving 2017 again. It's like, I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself that there is no future Goten. But I guess these are new people that weren't around back then. Like, there is no future Goten. Goten was never born in the future timeline. Goku was
Long
dead.
story short, guys, Goten was conceived around the time of the Cell games, so that's why he was never in the future.
That's also wrong, and I debunked that. Goten was conceived before the Android Saga. I debunked that.
Well, I mean, that's still generally around the time of the Cell games, but yeah, I follow
Yeah, a
you.
lot of
Yeah.
people, including Team 4-Star, said it was during the 9-day break, and that's wrong. And we have numbers to prove it,
Yeah.
because if it was during the 9-day break, based on the dates, that means Chi-Chi would have only been pregnant for like 6 months. And she ain't gonna give
Yeah.
birth after 6 months, bro. That's not how it works. But no, either way, the bottom line is there is no Goten in the future because Goku was dead. I don't know why
Yeah.
that's so. Why is that such a
Not
weird?
complicated.
Quinn, I figured that out when I was fucking 13. No
Yeah.
offense, it's just weird to me. When I get these questions, they're weird to me. But I'm
Wait,
not
Geek,
shitting on them. It's just weird questions that I figured out when I was a kid.
I have a really complicated question for you because this never made sense to me about the future timeline. Why wasn't Pan in the future timeline, Geekdom? Why didn't future Gohan train with Pan?
That's a good question, bro. Where was Oob at? Where was
Yeah.
Oob in the future? Where was Baby at? Why didn't Beerus show up and just kill the androids himself, Quinn?
Because he didn't give a crap. But he theoretically exists, and so the Kais and the gods,
Well,
they probably, but they didn't care
I
enough.
did a video a long time ago about how there is a legitimate plot hole behind the Beerus thing, because
Yeah.
if and you covered this in your timeline video, but you
Yeah.
made that before Battle of Gods came out. You made that like months before Battle of Gods came out.
Yeah.
Well, in the U.S. and Japan it was different. So Beerus exists in all timelines. So there's a different Beerus in every timeline. If Goku had if Goku had the heart virus and that was
Yeah.
the original projected main timeline, then
Yeah.
that means that Beerus could not have had the dream of the Super Saiyan God, because Goku never became a Super Saiyan God in the Trunks timeline. That's a legitimate plot hole nobody ever talks about. I did a video about it with Therese like years ago, but dude, nobody talked about that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Quinn, there's been a couple times where I've tried to create my own timeline video like the one that you did, but throwing in the super stuff, and I just quit because I realized it's gonna be at least 2 hours, bro. Because yours is already 45 minutes. You throw in the super shit, it's another fucking 45 minutes.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm working on that timeline video on the side, but I'm also like uploading other stuff in the meantime. So like it's one of those things where like that video is gonna be like 10 times more complicated than the original, but let's just say there's at least 7 timelines. Not gonna be easy.
Gladys says, can you drop a link in Twitter so I can repost it? I mean, there is a link on Twitter. It's literally all over my feed. Are you following the right guy, Gladys? It's literally all over my feed, dude. There's like 3 posts.
Yeah, she might be following the wrong.
You're following the wrong Geekdom, bro. He's following Geekdom 102. All right.
Daisy put it for.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Okay, Anthony Murchison says, "What do you think of bringing SS4 to Super?" Oh, this question again.
Oh man.
You know how many times I get this question, bro? Because since their base is stronger, that should make SS4 stronger, right?
Here's the thing, my little brother.
You answer this, bro.
Theoretically, it couldn't make sense because the only way for Super Saiyan 4 Goku to exist would be that Goku had a tail. And Goku doesn't have a tail anymore, and he's not a kid, so he can't become a Super Saiyan 4, and Bulma would never even get the idea to create a Blood Wave machine for Goku or Vegeta. So no, it's not possible unless you want to make up fan fiction.
I think what they're talking about is they're gonna take the form and like reboot it. And people have been literally asking me this question for years, and it's like the only answer I have is I don't think so. Like that's all I can really say is I don't think so. Like I just don't see that happening. We've done it already. Hold on. XX Young says, is Broly stronger than Jiren? I'll tell you where you can get that answer. Go to YouTube right now, open up a new tab, type in Geekdom 101, Jiren versus Broly. Already covered that, bro. Those are questions. I already covered that, and that video will take up a lot more. It's going to go into more detail that I'm not going to go into here because we got guests that we're going to bring on. Last super chat here. Do you for right now, if you want to submit your questions or PayPal, it's all going to go to charity. White Oreo VQs, do you think once Broly controls his power, Broly will become the strongest in Universe 7? Or is Gohan the strongest due to the beast form? That's a good question. That's actually my favorite question I've gotten so far. So the question is, do you think when Broly controls his power that he can become the strongest, or is Gohan going to be the strongest because of Beast? I think it's whatever Toriyama chooses to do in that particular moment. But what do you think about that? Because it could go either way.
Theoretically, if we just follow Dragon Ball's formula, I would probably have to say Gohan, because Gohan always has so much potential that he just gets stronger because. And the thing is that Gohan is more of a controlled, legitimate fighter than Broly. Broly's just like a slightly more controlled rage monster, but I don't think he has the technique and the skill to ever, like, if he was equal to everybody else, he would get dusted because he just doesn't know how to fight like that.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
Gohan has been trained by Piccolo. He's been trained by Goku. Let me think, who else trained Gohan? I mean, I guess you can kind of count the Supreme Kais, but
Yeah.
he's never had any God training. There's a video that I'll be talking about here in a minute that I'm working on with Jordan. There's 2 big Gohan videos I have planned, and one of them is about like it's going to be a real deep dive.
Wait, when you say Jordan, like Jax
No,
Jordan?
not Jax, not Jax. The guy who's about to come in here right now, Jordan Lee,
okay.
the Dragon Lee, because he's a big like Journey to the West historian guy. But we're gonna be working on a video like about the life of Gohan, but it's gonna be like it's gonna be the best video ever made on Gohan, in my opinion. And I know I could be biased because it's me, but I'm working real hard, doing a lot of research on this one, right? A lot of research. So it is a difficult video because it requires a lot of work. It's going to be a long video too. That's not going to drop till like December, but it's going to be all about like Gohan's character and his evolution, like why he does what he does, his behavior, why he differs from Goku, all like him and Piccolo. Did you ever get a chance to watch the History of Piccolo video I put out twice?
No, but if you send me a link after this, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I thought you would like that video because it's.
Oh,
I went
sure.
into like the what do you call it? Like all of the like the whole yin and yang thing with him and Kami, like all that shit. I'm very proud of that video.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this? This guy says, "Hey, Geek them, since we're always complaining about crappy DBZ releasing your friends with people at Funimation, why don't you tell them about how people feel about it?" Because I'm not friends with anybody at Funimation. That's a big misconception. That's not true. I don't like that company. Okay, now they've been bought out by Sony and they're not even Funimation anymore. So I don't even know what's going on over there. Not a big fan of that company. A and B, they already know how people feel about it, bro. Like they already know. That's been covered. They already know.
Yeah, I just have a quick question for the chat. Daisy, I don't know what you meant when you tagged me and you said chocolate blank. So if you can like retype what you meant, that'd really help out. But yeah, no, I mean
That could mean something very interesting, bro. But go ahead.
I don't know what she was tagging
I don't know what
me.
she's saying
I don't
either.
get it.
By the way, you realize that I want to tell people a little trivia note. Of all the people who have ever spent the night at my house, the only 2 who made the bed were Daisy and Quinn. That's it. Nobody else has ever made the bed at my house, bro. Like, not Juan, not fucking Jamie, like, none. You and Daisy are the only ones. So,
I mean, just courtesy.
we got a couple more super chats here. Well, actually, let me bring in Jordan now real quick, bro. Jordan, we're sorry for making you wait so long, bro.
It's fine.
Let me bring Anand in too, bro. Fuck it. Okay, Anand.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, I know I didn't mean to like, just bring you in without building you up, but it was one of those things where like I didn't want to like wait anymore because y'all were waiting. We're discussing what we want out of Dragon Ball in the future, but first, let me get to this real quick super chat here, because there's a lot coming in, dude. Thank you, Amari. Mecha J says, I agree with Quaman. Orange Piccolo sounds corny. What name would you have given the form? That is a good question. Quinn, what name would you have given the form? Because I feel like Super Namekian God, that's too derivative. What would be a better... I actually think Beast Piccolo isn't so bad, but that's already reserved for Gohan.
Yeah, honestly, like something probably like Piccolo Unlocked or like God Piccolo. or like True Piccolo or something like that, because it would like show like it's his form, like he and Kami figured out some new thing, like something divine. I think would be a good title.
What about like Piccolo Titan or something like that? Like something that's like
Yeah.
somewhat goddish but not really goddish.
Exactly, and Titan would be good because he could also turn big, and I don't
Right.
mean it like that.
Yes.
I would.
Yeah. What would you call?
I would
it?
call him. I would call him Agisa Piccolo because of the Agisa tree.
Oh,
I
the
just think
tree.
it sounds cool. Yeah.
Wooden
That sounds
wooden
cool.
Piccolo, bro. Wooden
Yo,
Piccolo.
I actually geeked him. I got a great idea. What about light-skinned Piccolo? Do you think that would be a good title?
That's a great title, bro. They made Frieza a brother and they took that away from Piccolo temporarily.
Yeah.
Temporarily. Yeah, Titan Piccolo, because the thing about Orange Piccolo, like Quinn, okay, what do you think? His design is obviously very unique. What do you
Yeah.
think about the fact that he's actually not giant size, but he is bigger? I feel like the only issue with that is that there may come a time where he faces off against an opponent and it's kind of an awkward fight because of the size difference. But I
Yeah.
also feel like we've seen that before with Kid Buu and Frieza. I feel like Orange Piccolo versus Cooler, for example, like in his final form, would just look totally badass on like, maybe I'll make that my next shirt, bro.
That would be really awesome. But as long as it's not like the kaiju big Piccolo, I don't think it'll be that much of a disadvantage. But it definitely could be a situation like Trunks when he was like fighting against Cell.
Okay,
But
so
Piccolo's smart enough to make it work.
here's some more. So the chat's got a bunch of suggestions. I'm going to read them to you. Holy Piccolo, that could work. Eternal Piccolo, that's too much like Sailor Moon, but that could work. Oak Piccolo, Habanero Piccolo, Divine Piccolo.
Dragon Piccolo is a great one. That's what self-loathing gives me life. That's a great title.
That's a great title.
Self-loathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is Self-Loathing Gives Me Life. That's a great title too, bro. It sounds like an old friend of you and ours and we're not going to name.
Pepperoni pizza. That was one of the best like YouTube
And
commentators
Elmer's
I've ever
Glue.
done.
Elmer's Glue,
That's
bro.
right, bro.
Elmer's Glue. We had three of them, bro. There was Aunt Jemima, Elmer's Glue. Remember, there's also LeBron Gems. LeBron Gems would
course.
comment on all our videos, bro.
Do you remember Qua Boy?
Of course, bro. You know who that was, right? That was
That's,
Dimsy.
yeah.
That was Dimsy, bro. We
I found
leaked
out
it.
later.
So somebody wrote, "What about the Namekian Savior?" I don't know about that name for Piccolo. That sounds like that would
Nah,
fit a different
it's
character.
Broly.
Dragon King Piccolo. That's not a bad name, but
Just Dragon Piccolo. That's all you need, bro.
yeah, because the King would imply he's
Yeah.
back to being Demon King Piccolo. Which, by the way,
Yeah.
dude, when I saw the dub, I was with Juan and Tex and everybody. When they I texted Sabbath about it. When they referred to him as Demon King Piccolo in the dub, bro, I think I felt a little bit of sperm come out of my nuts, bro. Because you have to understand, you know how I feel about this. They
Yeah.
have never, ever referred to Piccolo as Daimao, as Demon King Piccolo until that movie.
Yeah.
It's always been King Piccolo because we can't say the word demon, even though they can say
Right,
it.
because of religious connotations.
Well, because Dragon Ball was, and Dragon Ball was very homogenized back then. But dude,
Yeah.
Demon King Piccolo, I was like floating when I heard. It's such a little thing, but I was floating.
Yeah.
So, all right, hold on. Let me get to this other one here. Okay, Dragon Slayer says, given the different evolutionary path of Saiyans in Universe 6, could it be possible that SS4 is introduced through them? This question again, bro.
Oh, boy.
Dude, I'm about to, you know what, dog? I'm about to legitimately, I'm not even, dude, you know what? I might do it right now live on the air. I'm going to do it right now live on the air, bro.
Okay.
I'm going to tell Toyo's Horror to bring SS4 in, bro. Because I've had it. I've had it, bro. I've had it with, you know what? I'm going to do you guys a fucking favor. I have had it with people asking about Super Saiyan 4 and Super. So I'm just
Well-
going to say it. Hey, Toyotaro. In the past 7 years, I have been asked by literally hundreds of people to reboot Super Saiyan 4. I'm doing it right now, bro. In fact, I'll do it on camera. I'm gonna do it on camera right here. I'm putting it on the stream. I'm literally gonna ask the man right fucking now in front of all of you. In the past 7 years, I have been asked by literally hundreds of people to reboot Super Saiyan 4 into DBS. Hundreds, thousands, maybe millions want this. Can you ask Sensei to... Can you and Sensei hook them up? Thanks. Love, Danny.
Geekdom ain't playing.
No, dude, because I'm tired of getting this fucking question about Super Saiyan 4. I'm so tired of it. Dude,
So, okay, I didn't know we could...
No, listen, I appreciate the super chats, but there has never been a more requested thing, except for Gohan getting the push again, which he got, than Super Saiyan 4. You know?
I'm glad. So we can curse. Geekdom, we can curse on here. I was trying to be politically correct for you.
You can. I mean, it's a stream.
Honestly, I don't think that they'll ever use Super Saiyan 4 just because I'm not sure they know how to.
No, they won't. Dude, they won't.
You know what I mean?
That's why I don't want to tell people that because it hurts their dreams, but they ain't going to fucking do that. You know what I know they won't.
Yeah.
It would contradict so much.
It would be a problem, dude. But
another thing I was wondering is that
don't say I never did anything for you, folks. Don't say I never did anything for you because I just did it. Go ahead, bro.
Another thing I was wondering is like what, except for the design part, which is actually pretty cool. Conceptually, what is the main concept which makes it so unique about Super Saiyan?
Because he's got that weird look, the fur and the black hair and
he just looks alpha, bro. He just looks at
that is it. Apart from that, what is the underlying concept behind Super Saiyan 4, which is so appreciated by people? I don't know. I wanted to ask it on Twitter, but
personally, it's because it looks cool.
Personally,
and it does look cool. It does look cool. That's legit.
Now listen. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Personally, and you know how I am, Danny. But personally, I really,
that, bro. But okay.
I really like the whole concept of taming your nature. You know what I mean? I did like that because, that really plays into the original theme of Goku's character, when he was sent to Earth and, he started learning martial arts and he tamed his Saiyan nature. Super Saiyan 4 plays on that. So that's something I've always appreciated about.
No, I like Super Saiyan 4. It's just that at this point in the series, we are so far. We're into, angel god shit. Seeing a bunch of brutes waves, it's not a big deal to me. But I do understand why it would make sense for Universe 6 because they, are evolved differently. However, Super Saiyan 4 has a tail. The Universe 6 Saiyans do not. So it's not going to be exactly the same.
A lot of people overlook that Dragon Ball Z is a deep dive into Darwinian concepts such as evolution and survival of the
continues
fittest, that survival of the fittest, stuff like that. Dragon Ball was mainly a Buddhist martial arts shonen manga, but whenever they got into Dragon Ball Z, due to the fact that Goku was going to be facing a bunch of characters who basically had the opposite ideals as him, he chose to go with the Darwinism thing because the idea of survival of the fittest is so much different than Buddhism. It's the exact opposite thing. It's the exact opposite in terms of your belief system. You know what I mean? Buddhists are pacifists. They don't like to hurt anyone. But if you believe in the concept of Darwinism, you understand that, that stuff's a necessity for your survival. So those are two contradictory ideas that he really plays on in the series.
Yes. I also, people are saying in the chat, just make Super Saiyan 4 stronger than Ultra Instinct. I think that might actually piss off more people. And I'm one of them. Huh?
And conceptually speaking, I find Ultra Instinct much more attractive and engaging compared to Super Saiyan 4. Conceptually speaking as well. Looks wise, you could say.
I like how you had to say that. You're like conceptually speaking, I don't want to fuck Goku, and I'm not a furry, but conceptually, you had to clarify that for the people.
I mean, there's also another thing too, by the way, that one of the problems would be that if you could somehow cut off Goku's tail, his power would just get squashed. So it's just it creates too many bad.
That's true. Plots. That's true.
Another thing is what I've recently found out that the creators of GT, the one who has made the animation for that, they were mentioning that Super Saiyan 4 is their answer, not Toriyama's answer. It is their answer for the true Super Saiyan who appears once every 1,000 years, which for me does not make sense because that is not what was mentioned in the original legend. Where they said
and Toriyama has already contradicted the hell out of their concept of that as well.
So for me, in that sense, doesn't make sense. So I don't know how it was conceptually.
Look, here's another one right here from Twitter though. Isn't that literally what Broly's Ikari form is? Yes, literally. Yes, literally. Super Saiyan 4 looks exactly like Broly. Identical. Broly I'm gonna hold on. Yes, literally. Hold on. Literally. Hold on. Broly looked at the Earth's blood waves in the movie in a deleted scene and turned into a golden great ape, then evolved literally. Then his fur literally grew back and he literally had black hair and not gold.
Literally, bro.
Literally, they're literally identical. Listen, look, I'm just gonna say this point blank.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna say something, and if you get mad at me, stop being a snowflake. I'm gonna say it right now. If you think Broly's Ikari form is the same as Super Saiyan 4, you are a fucking moron. Because I have explained that I don't know how many goddamn times. I don't know what fucking Facebook page came up with this idea that the Ikari form's the same as fucking 4? Like, it's not even close to being the same thing.
It's actually, it's
completely different. Because he has the power of a great ape inside of him.
Right.
Super Saiyan 4 does not have the power of a great ape inside of it. It's a transformation. It's a new form. At no point in GT did they say Super Saiyan 4 is actually Golden Great Ape. No, it's not even remotely the same thing. Can you please, for fuck's sake, use the thing between your ears? And I'm not talking about people in the chat. I mean, like, overall.
Danny, is it
if anything, it's the opposite because Broly loses himself in that state, whereas Super Saiyan 4, it's all about controlling it. So if anything, it's like it has some opposite traits.
Danny, I was just gonna ask you, is it a simple fucking concept?
I remember that, bro. I should re-upload that video. It's those people on TikTok, somebody says in the chat. Well, dude, I swear to God, if you're getting your information from TikTok, bro, look,
oh no,
dude! TikTok.
Oh, no. Speaking of that,
TikTok has surpassed Facebook as far as misinformation goes.
Speaking about that, like people legit thought that those Disney, the Dragon Ball, like Goku, fan art.
No. I will boot you out of here right now if you bring that up.
Don't bring that up, bro.
If you bring that, bro, that's like, you know what, bro? That's like bringing up like a dead relative to me, bro. No.
He said,
you cover that shit on your fucking channel, bro. You go make an Anime Hunch article about it, bro. Don't fucking no. I made my fucking Dragon Ball is not owned by Disney Video, and I promise I was never gonna talk about it again, and I won't, and you can't either, bro. That's a new rule for the server, bro. No more Disney and Dragon Ball talk, bro. It's done.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, where were we? Let me get back to the super chats, bro.
I lost track.
Let me get back to the super chats, bro. Let me get back.
Where did we go?
Come back to main.
By the way, just so people know, I'm gonna whisper this so only some can hear it. I'm fucking high and my weed just kicked in. Hopefully some people heard that.
Damn, bro.
I'm just saying it just kicked in.
I figured it, but yeah, confirming.
You figured that Disney is owned by Dragon Ball, they're gonna reboot Super Saiyan 4?
Oh yeah, definitely. Disney is the head of the company.
Dragon Ball Cinematic Universe, bro. What does make me laugh. Thank you, Paul Miranda. I'm trying to entertain y'all. What does make me laugh? I'm not gonna lie. It did make me laugh when somebody was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna turn Vegeta into a black woman," and I'm just like dying, bro. And I was like,
"Oh my God!"
I seen that shit, bro. I seen that shit, bro, on Facebook. All right, real quick. Ghost Chaos says, "What do you think about TUI Goku, UE Vegeta, FP?" Bro, UE Vegeta, TUI Goku, AJ Styles, CM Punk, BJ Whitmer. It's 2 letters in a name, bro. FP Broly, Gamma 1 and 2, Android 17 and 18, Black Frieza, Granola, Orange Piccolo, and a potential Tournament of Power 2. If another TOP were to happen, what developments would you say you want to see? Great question. Lucky for you, I've already covered it. Go look, type in Geekdom 101, another Tournament of Power, and you will get my analysis
man.
on the second Tournament of Power. But what I am going to do is I'm going to ask all of you guys, which is, you know, Quinn and Jordan and Anand from AnimeHunch.com, www.animehunch.com. This stream is sponsored by AnimeHunch.com, bro. Coming later tonight, bro. Disney bought Dragon Ball. Anyways,
Yes.
what do you think about Tournament of Power 2? Well, first of all, it can't be Gamma 2 because he's dead. You forget that little detail, bro? Gamma 2 is gone. So we'll take him out of the equation. All these characters in a TOP. First of all, I think Black Frieza by himself would take out the entire Pride Trooper squad. Black Frieza by himself would annihilate and one-shot the entire fucking Pride Trooper squad unless they've been training. That's my analysis. Go ahead.
And the plot needs them too, yeah. That's
Well,
the second
I do
point.
know the Gods of Destruction were name dropped in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. After that happened, I started thinking about what they may do with them, and I don't necessarily think that they can pull off doing the same type of Tournament of Power where they're tricking all of them into like making a selfless wish or whatever. Like a lot of the dynamics of the Tournament of Power are impossible to repeat. They can't do the exact same thing.
No,
again
it would have
because
to be
everybody-
it would be different rules.
Right. So
Yeah.
what I think they may be building up to is the Gods of Destruction basically participating in some form of tournament against the mortals. I think that's what they're building up to, personally.
That'd be interesting.
So you're saying there's going to be a tournament down the road between. Thank you, Gladys. So you're saying there's going to be a tournament? Yes, drinks. Oh, Dick's out for Gamma 2. Dick's out for Gamma 2. So you're telling me that there's going to be a tournament, that you want to see a tournament between gods and mortals? So it'll be like
All the gods against the mortals. Yeah, like the Gods of Destruction would all be like they would. In my opinion, I think it would work best if you had the mortals outnumber the gods.
Right, they would have to because they do.
And just whoever, can beat said god, like gets some sort of reward. You know what I mean? Like it would also be a test of the Gods of Destruction themselves underneath Zeno as well.
Let me
so
ask
he could
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no,
Well,
I
he
was
could
gonna
test
ask
the
people what
mortals.
they think about this.
Yeah, he could test the mortals while also testing the gods at the same time, but in a new way.
The thing is, the God of Destruction are so beyond any mortal comprehension. Like
That's what you think. But
Well,
the thing about
remember-
it is the Tournament of Power ends with every single universe basically experiencing the Goku effect, and deciding that they're going to train and become stronger.
No,
they
not,
could.
not just that, but I want to say, just to add what you're saying, if we see this, right, it would be more, yes, the Gods of Destruction are more powerful than like 99% of the mortals, right? But we're seeing the all-star squad. It's going to be Goku, Gohan, Broly, Hit, Jiren, the best of all the universes against the mortals. It's not going to be them fighting each other. They have to work together. Can you imagine a team up of Hit, Jiren, and Gohan, or of Broly, Black Frieza, and Kale? Like, there's a lot of things they could do with that. There's a lot of new team ups, and they could do. That's a good idea, Jordan. I'm going to ask the people if they like that idea.
They could create incentive too. Like maybe whoever wins gets trained by the Grand Priest. Or maybe
that was my idea for the TOP too, bro. They get trained by the Grand Priest.
Or you can have a chance to become a destroyer. You know what I mean? It's like, that would motivate Frieza to participate. So,
in terms of candidates, they could have a tournament for that. Which is at least if they want to adapt something like what they had in the manga, that is the God of Destruction, they had a mini tournament. They could have that with the candidates so that it feels like a whole, like these kind of old kind of matches, right? In Rome or Italy, that kind of style where people were fighting just to see who can occupy the next position and so such a thing like that.
Right. And well, they would have to, and another thing is they would have to implement the Dragon Balls in some way because Super, I don't know if everyone watching this realizes this, but Super has not had a single arc that doesn't implement the Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah, and that's how Dragon Ball is though. Almost every arc has a Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
Even the Cell
So
Saga had them.
if you want to kind of try and figure out what they're going to do next in the story, honestly, I think that's the best way to go about it. Just try to think about how they may possibly implement the Dragon Balls into the next arc, because that's something that every single arc has a common thread in, is the fact that the Dragon
Right.
Balls are involved in some way. So if you're trying to guess what's going to happen next, I think that's probably your best bet, is to focus on that aspect of the story, you know.
Exactly. I was mentioning in previous streams as well, because they were focusing on a lot about Namekian lore, and both in superhero and as well as in the Granola arc as well. I think it is about time, I guess, they bring up the whole Namekian origins, where they come from, and probably connect that with Zalama as well, because being the original creator for the Dragon Balls, because it's been teased, right? Okay, the Namekians took a fragment of those Dragon Balls to make their own, and what was the purpose for that? How did it all start? The whole shebang of that, I guess, would be a good route to see how. And plus, Piccolo could be, and many of the Namekians can be relevant as well in that
Yes.
domain.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot they could do. Okay, Ghost. Okay, I already answered his question. Self-loathing gives me life. How about Dragon King Piccolo for a name? Well, I think that we already saw that earlier. We could comment on that already. Gamerman says Divine Dragon. I guess for Piccolo's form, well, you would have to have Piccolo's name in it somewhere. Thank you, Shadow, for the super chat. Coffee Sama says, imagine if Gohan as an adult was as savage as he was as a kid on Namek. I mean, he kind of was against Cell Max. That's close, right? Fuck,
Yeah.
man. I've been revisiting that arc in the Z Fighters Killer Instinct. Yeah, the Namek arc, like, and I've said this before, and I've preached to the choir. As much as there's things to love about Super, it's never going to compare to the old shit. There's just no comparison. And, like, it's weird to me that there's little kids, and I mean, like, not younger people in their 20s, I mean, like, in their teens, who have only seen Super. It pisses me off that there's fans that have seen only Z and Super, but there are some people who have only seen Super. So they don't even know, like, what the real story is. And, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? You can't do anything
Super,
about it.
Super was really treated as a introduction for the next generation, especially in Japan.
But it was also a continuation with tons of fan service. So that, you know what I
It
mean?
was, but they wanted to make it palatable to the new generation of Dragon Ball fans. You know, they were playing on the young hype. Basically what modern shonen has done in anime as of late. It's the way that these companies handle modern shonen in general is completely different than the era of the 90s. It's not even just Dragon Ball. All of them have super hype music openings that have some form of like Japanese pop music.
Well, anime's had that for centuries, bro. Like that's
yeah,
nothing new.
and like, well, you know, they used to have their own original openings in the 90s. You know what I mean? For the most part, like they had, but now they just like feature different musicians and stuff who were popular at the time.
I see what you mean. Well, it depends on the show because they did that back then too. Because like Kageyama wasn't just a Dragon Ball guy. He did a couple of Sentai shows, like you know what I mean?
Right.
But here's the thing: what I think you're talking about is those people that did anime music would eventually platform into doing regular J-pop. They would the anime was like the way they would get introduced, and then they would go off and do J-pop. Whereas nowadays it's the reverse. Sometimes you'll get a popular J-pop artist to come and do an anime song, like we saw for movies.
Basically, what I'm saying is like don't underestimate the amount that modern Japanese culture affects Dragon Ball. Like
right.
The way
that's
just
true.
Generally the way they handle business is entirely different, and the way that they frame things is entirely different. You know, during the 90s, their approach was so different because the times were so different. Like, and in that way, that's part of the reason we'll never be able to get the type of Dragon Ball that we get. Not just, you know, of course, Toriyama not being at the pen is also a big part of it. But because Toei has had so much creative control, and Toriyama relies on them so much to, you know, market it and make it something consumable. You know, it just the dynamic in terms of how the show and the manga is created is just night and day compared to.
And let's not even go into the corporate stuff too. It's very corporate. Coffee Sama, imagine. Oh, I read that. Amari said, "I got a question for you. What are your thoughts on a hypothetical Dragon Ball cinematic universe?" I've been thinking about that for years. I've been talking about how I want that for years. Anybody want to give their 2 cents?
I'm good. Anon, you got something to say about that, bro?
AnimeHunch.com, bro.
What would be the question again? I zoned out for a bit.
The question is, what's your name and how big is your cunt?
Well, if we come here, I can show it to you.
Only Quinn knows the answer, bro. What's the answer, Quinn?
My name is Keisha, and my cunt ain't very big.
My name's Keisha, and my cunt ain't very big.
It's an inside Kwame and Geekdom joke.
This guy in the chat said, I don't trust Dragon Ball GT fans, them weirdos. Oh, and the Z fans aren't? Get the fuck out of here. It's the same group. All right.
All Dragon Ball fans are weird as fuck.
They're all fucking just as weird and just as unweird. Muhammad Haldari says, what do you think we could get for the Dragon Ball web series? We talked about that earlier, but I want to revisit the question with Jordan and on. I would love it if it's the Yamoshi story. Didn't I fucking say it? So people want the fucking Yamoshi or Roshi and Master Shen and Master Mutaito. A lot of people think it's gonna be some side story. That is not.
I do too.
That's not
I
a
think
guarantee, but that's not a guarantee though. What, okay,
I just think.
then what
I
do
just
you
think
think
it's
it's gonna
prime.
be, and what do you want it to be? And I swear to God, if you say Bardock,
No, I'm not gonna say Bardock.
okay.
I think it's just a opportunity for them to flesh out the series as a whole and just like give us more. Because I think at this point they're aware that Dragon Ball is packaged for mass consumption in the modern day. So they're like, you know what? If we make a web series, people are going to watch it. So I think that's where their head is at, and I think that they're really just going to use it to flesh out the series. Now I could be wrong, but I don't see them doing anything too ridiculously crazy serious with the web series personally, because I can't remember who it was.
I do agree with you on that point.
I remember reading not too long ago. I can't remember who stated this, but I remember reading not too long ago that they were waiting on more manga material for to animate.
I said that.
Yeah, right.
About a year ago, which is a fact. That's why they haven't put Gas, Granola, and Moro and Mirrors or any of them in any of the games. That's why.
Right. So with that in mind, if you look at a lot of the content that they put online in terms of like YouTube and stuff like that, like for example, you've got Dragon Ball SD running right now.
Yeah, and that's a weird anomaly of a series too.
They could easily just do an SD web series if they wanted, and it
boy.
would disappoint a lot of people, but they could easily do that. There's all kinds of stuff they could do like that. Like they could just make filler content that expands on the characters and sort of gives people individual fan service based on particular characters, and like it would just be like a
placeholder until the real shit comes
a
back.
series of side stories, expanding on the previous works of Dragon Ball.
You do know, I'm sure you do, but listen for the chat. Y'all do know that Dragon Quest is like pretty much done. I think there's one episode left, right? It's done.
Yeah, it's like done.
All those animation gods that were working on Dragon Quest are going to be available soon. I'm just saying.
Yep.
That's right.
Muhammad Haldari, alhamdulillah, he says, oh no, he already said that. Okay, Broken Lion 16. Well, actually, wait, before we go there, Anand, what do you want for the web series? Do you have any ideas? What? Tell me what you want and what you think we'll get. You know what I mean?
Okay, what I want is slice of life parts of characters who have not appeared much in the series, especially with the families of Gohan, the Makians, or any of the side characters which have not seen much. Slice of life moments of how their day lives happening, all those kind of things. Mostly, I just want slice of life stuff because I'm a sucker for slice of life stuff. And Dragon Ball. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I agree with you. And I said it earlier before you got on. I typed it. Real shit. The fucking baseball episode of Super, that one episode is better than the entire Granola arc. Don't at me on that one, bro. Don't at me on that.
I mean,
one.
I love the
could get
Granola
where
art,
you
but I
come
think
from.
that's funny.
Yeah, that's fine. But that's what at least you can see. Okay, Dragon Ball slice of life is very attractive to so many people, including me as well.
Oh, because I think it's because people were saying like in the chat, they were like, I hope that they take their time because I don't want any filler, and I completely disagree. I actually think, unlike other anime, I actually think that the filler is actually more fun in Super than a lot of the main story. We have had
I agree with
a lot of classic
I think
filler
a lot
episodes.
of the filler is good, except for like the copy Vegeta bullshit. I do think that like a lot of the filler in Super is good. I agree with you.
Yeah, easily.
And what I think could be is, I'm not sure. Yeah, if they do what I want, that is good. But otherwise, if they could adapt something like the side mangas with story element, like the Jaco manga, or in some of the chat also said the Yamcha being reincarnated, some of the side stories that also would be good. But what they're actually going to do, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think if they did slice of life, there would be a set group of people who would enjoy it. But I'm not sure that Toei would be ballsy enough to just do slice of life with like minimal action.
I mean, it could be a mix, but more slice of life at least to interact with the characters more. Because, see, most of the action is already covered by Dragon Ball Heroes. That was mostly action. There's hardly any slice of life there. So, at least here they could do more slice of life.
Well, Super Dragon Ball Heroes is a promotional product.
True, but it is again a web series.
This also may be a promotional product. I'm not going to say that it's not, but I just think the way Toei, the track record Toei has when in terms of like handling Dragon Ball content on their own, they tend to just sort of focus on the fact that it's shonen and the fact that it's like, you know, a combat, like, you know, they focus on that stuff a lot. Not that they don't focus on slice of life at all. It's just, you know, back during Toriyama's heyday, his biggest criticism was the fact that he was trying to tell a story rather than, you know, give fan service to this shonen.
That's not what's happening now.
You know what I mean? So,
because people bitched about it. That's the problem. Fans did not like it. That was actually
and I think people, and that's essentially my point, Anand, is I think that they're afraid people will bitch about it now. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that they'll get like, I do like slice of life material, but I don't necessarily think that Dragon Ball, especially Toei, if Toei's in charge, I don't think that they will. I just don't think they're ballsy enough to just do slice of life content, even with minimal action. I really expect it to be action heavy, to be honest with you, because that's just what they use to appeal to the fans. You know.
Yep.
Probably that could be a case, but hopefully, like, see, okay, there are also other, not Toei though, but the thing is, for other shonen animes, like for example, take Attack on Titan or Bungo Stray Dogs, they had something which was a side anime where it was called, like, you know, for Attack on Titan was called Attack on Titan Junior High. For Bungo Stray Dogs was Bungo Stray Dogs 1. These were all slice of life elements, which was all mixed with comedy and stuff, which was exploring the characters more on their, you know, what was happening in their daily lives more than the action part. So I do agree, when you said that they would definitely do cover most of the action part. But the thing is, if they at least 60 to 70% slice of life, then that'll be fine.
Yeah, you're just saying you don't want another Super Dragon Ball Hero.
I don't want just slice of life, but I want some of it. I don't think a just slice of life story
wouldn't work. That wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
At least a good portion of it should be slice of life.
Like it would be good for like a mini arc, but for like something main, nah.
The in between stuff. Broken Lion 69. What about Super Saiyan 4 Future Trunks?
Oh Jesus.
Vern Clark says Piccolo, Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, mirrors Frieza, Broly, Boo, Gamma, and Granola would be so cracked. What do you guys think? I mean, you could take just half that roster and it's already cracked. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, we talked about that earlier. Universe 7 is definitely OP. You know?
Yeah, I think it's getting about time to where the mortals are all going to start surpassing the gods, which is why I think that
it's already.
Which is why I think that. Which is why I think that the gods particularly were not just, keep in mind, in Dragon Ball Super Hero, they did not just name drop Beerus. They showed every single god of destruction. So
Okay, so let me ask you what would be the right way to respond to this guy. This fucking idiot. He says, "Dude, this is how I know you're actually stupid. I watched your SS4 explained. You're in essence controlling the power of a grade 8, literally what Broly's doing in DBS Broly, which is not what he's doing. But hey, I guess you didn't watch DBS Broly."
damn, bro. People just be typing stuff.
That is what I have a theory in my mind that they just push on the SS4 agenda because it looks good. Conceptually wise, many people have absolutely no idea what's happening.
Did I at any point ever say that SS4 is the power of a grade 8 controlled?
No.
Have I ever said
No,
that?
I've seen your GT guide, no. Or your Super Saiyan 4 guide, no. You did not say that.
Hold on.
But I could understand how people could think that.
No. Well, yeah, I can't if you're a fucking retard. That I can understand that. Now, if you're a moron, I can see that, sure. Find me the clip.
Yeah, the
where I
power of a
said-
grade 8 was very, very weak in comparison to, you know, what Super Saiyan 4 is.
Oh my god! Like, why are people so fucking stupid, bro? I'm gonna just keep getting your info from TikTok, bro. I'll stay over here.
Something in the water, man.
TikTok, the next news agency.
Find me a clip. Find me the clip where I said Super Saiyan 4 is the power of a grade 8 harnessed. That's not even like. I haven't even said anything remotely like that. That's all I said. My response to him was LMAO at me being stupid. Find me the clip where I said Super Saiyan 4 is the power of a grade 8 harnessed. In fact, find it anywhere in the fucking series. Or actually, you know what? That's even better. That's a better idea. Or even better. Find me a statement in the series or in any guidebook.
I don't think he would, because I can even show you what the creators themselves mentioned about Super Saiyan 4 in general.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna say I was gonna say I'll send you $1,000 on PayPal, but I'm not doing that because that's gonna actually go to fucking people who actually need it. Fuck that guy. Okay. Gaming Hub UK says serious stories of personal struggles of character. I don't know if you're asking us that shit, but this is not really the right time for that, to be honest with you. Like, I respect the question. It's just that I don't know if that's really I'm not really in that frame of mind right now. And you know I would tell you. It's just that I'm not really in that frame of mind right now. Chibi Gohan says, do you think might make Oob part of Videl's class? Oh, he's talking about having Oob get trained by Videl. I feel like here's how I answer that question. What could Videl teach Oob that Goku can't? Like, nothing. There's absolutely nothing Videl knows that Goku doesn't.
How to be a responsible adult that cares about your kids.
It's a good answer, actually. That's a good answer, bro. Hold on. Anyways, Mecha J says, if Dragon Ball came back to TV with just Slice of Life, I can see some fans complain. Yeah, I would, and I like Slice of Life. But would there really be much backlash if the Slice of Life was just in the web series? Probably not if they straight up say this is going to be Slice of Life. It all depends on how they say it. If they're honest with people and they say, okay, this web series is not meant to be taken seriously, it's just for fun, then okay, like, you know, people aren't going to get so mad. But I think if people are expecting a legitimate continuation to the story that was told in Dragon Ball Super, the manga, and the movies, I think, and they don't give us that, I think it will piss off a lot of people. So yes, I think, yes, fans, and also, Mecha J, you know this, fans will bitch about anything. Anything.
Hell yeah, they will.
They will bitch about anything. I also should have told that guy, I'm stupid, but you're still watching my transformation guide, so you're learning from a stupid person. Daily Chan says, my PayPal was not working, but hopefully this helps. Thank you, Daily Chan. But bro, do you think Dragon should just move more Do you think I think he means Dragon Ball, should just more simple times two dudes smashing each other? So, no offense.
Hell no.
Hold on.
Hell no.
This is gonna come off like this might come off condescending, bro, but I'm just gonna be real with you. No offense, but if all you think Dragon Ball is two dudes smashing, I question how much you know about the series or how much you understand it. Because it's never been that. Dragon Ball has never been just two guys smashing. That's the opinion you get from somebody who's only played the games or saw the dub 20 years ago. Like the casual babbies are the ones that think it's just two dudes smashing. You never hear any actual fans say that. So I don't know what you're looking for. Like I don't know what that question really means. Because it's never been that before and it never will be that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
I hate to be that guy geekdom, but I think a lot of people might think a little suspect of saying two dudes smashing.
I mean, he said it, not me. He's the one who said two dudes smashing, bro. He did.
You would probably watch an hentai.
I mean, maybe, man. Look, yeah, you're into whatever you're into, bro. Yeah, pause. People in the chat are now saying pause. Yeah, yeah, no, but I think it all comes down to how they promote the web series. We haven't gotten an announcement at all anywhere about what this is going to be. It's not even public yet. Anime AJ was the one guy that was talking about the web series, and then oh god, what's the other dude's name? I don't know the guy very well. I've never spoken to the guy before. Spanku. He was the one saying there were two projects, and I made it very clear in my videos that I was not told anything about there being two projects outside of an anime and a movie. So if it's going to be web series and anime, if they're running at the same time, let's say that there's a web series and an anime and a manga, that's going to be confusing for some people unless they make the web series something totally different, like a Universe 6 or Universe 11 story. I think it all comes down to like when it comes out. Like if the web series is something that comes out at the same time as the anime or the manga, it has to be different, right? Like it can't be the same thing.
Right,
Nope,
right.
done.
It's gotta be, and when I say different, I mean like totally different, because it's gonna confuse. Like they're making this so confusing for people. Like I get it, but I always try to look at this. I always try to look at it from more of a casual fan's point of view.
Oh, well, bro,
it's
in
a
that case, they've always been confused, though.
Yes, you're right, but it's even worse now, I think.
No, we can just
Yeah,
open the
Dragon Ball
stage,
treats
watch
it more like a localized product than they used to as well. Like, they don't really treat it as a international product anymore. Like, in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movies case, they did. They marketed it internationally.
Not anymore. It wasn't there from the beginning as well. It's always a local.
Now, I will say that they did dub Dragon Ball Super faster this time. But I think that
focus
has
was there. But if you're talking about the primary watchers, like whom they're doing it for.
Wait, I'm sorry. When you say dub, do you mean English or do you mean Japanese original?
English.
Well, that's because the only reason that Dragon Ball Super was delayed is it's fucking Toei. US. That's the only reason why. Like, if it was up to Funimation, they would have started dubbing Super like the week it came out in Japan. But that's not
right. And it's also because it's already huge and it's not trying to make a name for itself like the old days. That's another big part of it. But like, and they already had the they already had that whole team. They already had that whole team at Funimation sitting there ready. I mean, you know how many dubs there was before the Funimation dub.
Oh yeah. There was a couple, but I mean, nowadays they're a lot better and a lot faster, but they can't actually release anything until Toei. I mean, I talked about it here on the channel. And this is years ago, we knew that they were dubbing Super when fucking, what's his name? Jason Douglas accidentally Instagrammed that picture of him in the studio recording Beerus's lines, and that was before Toei USA authorized it. What was going on is that Funimation or Okatron or whoever, I don't know who it was, they were putting the lines down and keeping them stored, so that way whenever Toei authorizes it, they can just release it or just wrap it up. Because if you've already got like the audio in the can, right? You don't have to call everybody back in the studio, pay them more, book flights, because not everybody lives in Texas. You know what I mean? So they had all the audio for the first few episodes done, and then when it got announced, it was already done. So the point is, they could very easily dub Dragon Ball Super like a week or two, or even the same week it comes out. But it's up to Toei to give them authorization. They can't do shit about that. Real quick, Thomas Bush says, "What's worse, Goldberg versus the Undertaker or Granola?" Definitely Goldberg versus the Undertaker. But Granola had some cool aspects of it. I know Jordan likes the Granola arc, bro, and I'm not a fan. Jordan, do you even like the ending, dude? Because I don't think I ever asked you if you like the
I
ending.
do like the ending. Well, look, I have a very different interpretation of the Granola arc than most people. Most people think it's about Granola getting his revenge or all these characters. But to me, the arc is about the Dragon Balls. It's not about Granola. It's not about Goku. It's not about Vegeta. It's literally about.
But it's about Granola. We follow his journey.
It's only about Granola because Granola was a outlier of his race, just like Goku. But instead of him being an outlier of his race in a good way, he was an outlier of his race in a bad way. So he's sort of like a parallel to like how Goku changed whenever he was sent to Earth. But he ends up, because of that, because he's jaded and because of his upbringing, he ends up using the Dragon Balls the completely opposite way that you're supposed to. So, like to me, the whole point of the arc is basically explaining the mechanics of the Dragon Balls. Why Bardock, an inherently selfish person, could use them just by doing one particularly selfless act. Why Granola was not necessarily a selfish person at heart because he was a Cerulean, but due to the fact that he wanted revenge so bad, he almost paid as a result of misusing the Dragon Balls. And then we straight up see Gas and Elec pay for it right in front of our face. So to me, the story is more about explaining how the Dragon Balls work from every angle, which is why they have that lore dump where they talk about the Dragon Balls and the rules for them amongst the Namex.
I mean,
the last time they talked about the Dragon Balls like that, the last time they explained like the rules of them amongst the Namex was back on Namek whenever Frieza, I don't know if you remember this, but Frieza, whenever he's collecting the Dragon Balls, he tells the Namex that he walks up to, he's like, so while I was trying to collect the first Dragon Ball, he's like, the Namex explained to me how the Dragon Balls work, and he basically tells them that they will only give the Dragon Balls to great heroes, and that at every site, at every point where a Dragon Ball is, the Namek who wants to attain the Dragon Balls has to pass some sort of test of wits or strength, and they also have to explain what exactly they want with the Dragon Balls. And the reason for this is because, as Manito states in the arc, selfish wishes only bring about doom to whoever uses them, and not just doom to themselves, but doom to the entire planet. Because the Elder Namek suggests that the original Namekians may have at some point perished as a result of misusing the Dragon Balls. So to me, it's more about, the arc is way more about how Goku and Vegeta help Granola essentially abandon his selfish intent, so that way he doesn't pay as a result of using the Dragon Balls, which is why you see Gas and Elec pay for it in real time in front of them. Granola chooses to stay next to Manito's side the entire time rather than focus on revenge. And as a result, Whis shows up, sees him crying over his body, and brings him back to life. So, like, he's rewarded for having good intentions. And to me, that's the interpretation of the story. It's not really about revenge. It's just about, it's basically saying if you use the Dragon Balls with selfish intent, you're doomed. And I think that that's what the next arc is also building up to, because something else I noticed when I was rereading Namek, or at least the arc with Frieza, something else I noticed whenever I was reading the Namek arc recently is that Frieza actually tried to follow the ritual that the Namex put in place at first, but they wouldn't give him the Dragon Ball, despite the fact that he was willing to try and pass the test, and so he killed him. So Frieza actually has a vested interest in how the Dragon Balls actually work, and I find it very interesting that he shows up and serves as basically like karmic justice for Elec and Gas, when normally that's Goku's job. And twice in the arc, they state that the balance of the universe is shifting once in a really ambiguous way where you really don't know who they're referring to, but another time that's referenced directly in reference to Frieza. So if Frieza has figured out like what exactly he has to do in order to like be successful like Goku, that may be what he implements to upset the balance of the universe in his favor. And I think that may be where the plot's going, because like I did a video with you on your channel about, you know, the heaters and how they sort of represent character traits that Frieza has abandoned. And something I didn't talk about in that video that I realized after the fact, if you pay attention, is the other two siblings who survived also have personality traits very similar to Frieza, and those personality traits are very similar to the ones that Frieza himself retains. So I think that whole entire arc was just building up to something with Frieza and possibly the Dragon Balls, because like I said, to me that arc wasn't really about revenge. It wasn't about Granola was just an example of the mechanics of the Dragon Balls. Same with Bardock, same with Gas, same with Elec. The reason the Dragon Balls were used so much in that arc was to explain to you from all angles the correct and incorrect way to go about using the Dragon Balls. And that's the reason that I enjoy that arc so much, because it really goes out of its way to hit you from every angle and explain to you like why Goku in the past has been so successful in terms of using the Dragon Balls. And that's because he's fit this criteria throughout the entire series when it comes to using the Dragon Balls the right way. You know, he's exactly what the Nameks used to take advantage of in order to preserve their planet. The reason they gave the Dragon Balls to these great heroes is because they were gaming on these heroes using the Dragon Balls the correct way. And I just find that all very interesting, especially considering that Kami, whenever he showed up to Earth, he made the Dragon Balls instinctually. And when Goku first sets out on his adventure at the very beginning of Dragon Ball, he's going after the Dragon Balls. So it's almost like, now in the original Dragon Ball, Kami also tells Goku that because those tests aren't like the tests that the Nameks put their Namekians warriors through are simulated tests. But whenever Kami talks to Goku in the original Dragon Ball, he tells Goku that the Dragon Balls themselves put you through a test. So all the Dragon Balls going to different portions of the Earth, and you know, the journey to gather the Dragon Balls is in itself a test of your character. And Goku just so happens to have the correct character traits he's essentially like all those Namekian warriors who have preserved the planet for generations and generations on Namek. And to me that it paints a bigger picture of what they're really trying to tell you about Goku and Dragon Ball in general.
Okay,
and
but
that's
hold
the reason
on.
that
Hold on. Let me just reply to what you said. First of all, you made a lot of good points as far as, yes, this arc emphasized Dragon Balls more than some of the other arcs. It's still about Granola. No matter what, it's about Granola. Granola is
I just don't think it's about.
Hold on. Granola's the thread through for everything. Is this arc about Bardock? No, but Bardock had a bigger role. The Dragon Balls have a much bigger role. And everything you said is true. I'm not arguing anything you said about the importance of Dragon Balls in this arc or the lessons being told, but it's Granola's story. Granola's the one that chooses to make that wish. He's the one that fights Goku and Vegeta and eventually works with them, and he's the one that has the overall character arc. It's still about Granola. The Dragon Balls, the whole series is about the Dragon Balls, hence why it's called Dragon Ball, and we always learn something new. Like even in the Future Trunks arc, we learned about the Super Dragon Balls and what the danger that they provide. I'm not disagreeing with you about anything you said. I just think to say it's not about Granola, dude, the arc is absolutely about Granola. We might never even see him again.
Yeah, I think it's about Granola.
In that regard, the whole story for Granola's character development is about anti-revenge in that sense. How he moves from what is the consequence of blindly going towards revenge. What is the curse behind that as well? Because Vegeta literally says to Gas, saying that what is the curse of being the strongest in the universe, by seeking a path which is towards revenge as well, because you want to get revenge against Bardock by killing Goku. So what does revenge, blind revenge, just for your own personal gain, leads you into a false sense of security? That is
Yeah,
one other
well, to me, it's just it's just the art just seems more about appreciating the life you have rather than chasing after the life you didn't.
yeah.
Manito
Monato literally
tells
says that. Yeah, literally says
Manito
that.
tells Granola, he's like, I'm satisfied with my life. You should
Yep.
be too.
Should
You
be
know what I mean? You shouldn't be
exactly.
blind. And
Exactly.
that's sort of Granola's character arc is he develops appreciation for what he
Life.
does have rather than harping on what he doesn't have. So, and that's the reason I appreciate Granola as a character, especially because he's got a lot of parallels to Goku in terms of starting off sort of corrupted and then being purified after using the Dragon Balls, which I think is really cool. But like just the fact that he's not necessarily an evil person by nature, but he had this one personality trait that was destroying him from the inside and almost cost him his planet and his family and everyone else, and he managed to actually do some self-reflection and become a better person. I just really love that narrative overall. Like even outside of Dragon Ball, I love those types of stories because I mean, if you really think about it, within the plot of the Granola arc itself, let's just throw a scenario out there. Let's just say that when Frieza showed up, let's just say that Granola did decide to try and take out Frieza. Well, Frieza, he there's no hope for Granola at that point. If Frieza wanted to, Frieza was so ridiculously overpowered at that point, and I do think that Frieza is something they were building up to in that arc on purpose. I don't think it was I think
No,
because he's referenced in the very beginning of the arc.
Exactly. It
Like
was literally
at the
said
very
that
beginning of the arc, they talk about how the balance is shifting, yada yada
Yep.
yada. Alec is having a meeting with Frieza, but so he's referenced at the very beginning of the arc. I think the entire arc is building up to this new version of Frieza. But like, if let's just say in a what if scenario, if Granola did decide to try to take out Frieza, he would just be screwed. If Frieza wanted to, he could have just destroyed his whole planet. So I think he sort of serves as an example of doing things the right way and the benefits of them. Frieza himself serves as an example of everything else that I was previously talking about in terms of Goku making the right move.
Oh, hold on. Let me interrupt you. But this guy here, the savior, can you mod me? Can somebody explain to me, why do people go into streams, both YouTube and Twitch, who have no idea who the streamer is, have never spoken to him before, and ask to be modded and expect them to actually get power? Like, why do people do that? I don't understand why why would you go into a streamer who you don't fucking know, who you've never spoken to, you don't have a friendship with or trust, and ask to be modded? Like, I'm gonna fucking do that.
I mean, I think it happens to the best YouTubers, bro.
No,
I
it
think
happens to
that's like-
everybody, but I don't understand. The logic.
It's mostly trolling, I guess. But yeah.
Well, you
No,
might be
dude,
trolling,
I don't
but
believe
I've
that. I don't
seen
believe
people-
that.
No, I mean, I don't know. I've seen people ask that question. It's just so weird to me. Hey,
I think people just legitimately think if they ask enough, they'll get it.
No, you ask
That is-
no. If you ask them to
that is
get
dumb as
banned,
fuck, but-
you'll get the boot. Is what you'll get, bro. Shit, it's annoying. So, all right, we gotta get out of here. We've been here a long time, yo. Bellman says, "Are you completely opposed to Goku getting a new transformation?" Yes. Even if the writers can make it work after the DBZ timeline, like 5-10 years in our time, yes. I am.
Well, what are they gonna give him?
Thank you.
You know what
I
I
am
mean?
absolutely opposed to anything above Ultra Instinct. It's going to happen, though. We kind of can't help it. They're going to come up with some new name for something. But yes, I am sick and tired of transformations. Dragon Ball Super, and this is not a new opinion. I felt this way since the Trunks arc. Super has overdone it. I like the fact that people like Gohan and Piccolo have a power-up. I do like that, and I like Ultra Ego. But when it comes to Goku, Ultra Instinct has to be the ultimate freaking goal. After that, no more transformations. Because it starts to become lazy and repetitive, and they've written themselves into a corner so many times, and it needs to stop. Quinn,
Right, I agree with you.
I know you do. Quinn, what do you think?
I mean, there's a lot to take in here. I mean, overall, just to go back to what the main conversation was with the Granola arc, I think that the general theme of it is that I feel like I forgot what the guy's name is who was saying that, but I think the general theme is that that Granola was definitely a different Cerulean. But at the same time, what I love about his character compared to Goku, and the one thing this arc got right, was how, unlike Goku who hit his head to quote-unquote become good, Granola had a 360-degree change in his character in a very natural and organic way, which I thought was actually good writing on its part. It's just all the other things the art did was complete, utter shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, I just like the Granola arc.
No, I know you do,
Okay,
and that's fine. That's okay. Like
Coming to the Goku transformation, though, Toyota did mention in an interview that even Beast also mentions the manga chapter. There, he equates UI into a transformation, which basically says that you should not equate UI into a transformation. So the goal for him is to use Ultra Instinct in a natural
In his
way.
base, right.
In his base form, exactly, where he doesn't require a transformation or a conscious way of activating it, where it becomes natural for him. So that is his main goal. That is what even Toyota also mentions, and what we mentioned. So in between that, there could be some transformation, but albeit in a temporary basis. But the ultimate goal is fixed. How Goku achieves that could be his own way. That is what Whis was also telling him. Could be
Now,
with different
Yeah, that's
the
fair.
Right. The point is that if they can't figure out, I think the issue is like, hold on, Daisy's over here. Daisy DM me and goes, somebody in your chat said I'm Bulma. I said, you wish. She says, no, I don't. I don't want to wish for bigger tits. Gonna wish for smaller ones. And I'm like, I meant her money. I'm talking about her money, Daisy. Her money. You wish you were Bulma because she's rich. The Brief family is the richest family in fucking Dragon Ball, bro. Dr. Brief. And her last name is not Brief, but his patriarchy is the richest. What I was gonna say was, we gotta get out of here. We've been here a long ass time. We've been here a long time, bro. I didn't mean to stream this long. If you want to keep donating, head on over to the PayPal link in the description. I'm gonna take your donations, put in some of my own money, and send it off this week or next coming week to charity to help out people. And of course, I really appreciate y'all's help as a Floridian. It means a lot to me. I don't really know what else to say, man. I was gonna actually bring something up about the you weren't supposed to out our DMs. It was I didn't out all of our DMs. It was just one fucking DM, two DMs, but whatever. Let me finish what I was gonna say. So, again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I'm not sure when I'll be back on here. I do stream a lot on Twitch, but I did want to ask y'all, how would you feel? This is my question to the chat. If I streamed in November Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, 2, and 3 on YouTube, not on Twitch. In other words, it's my first time touching those games in 20 fucking years. It's been years since I played Budokai 1, 2, and 3. Would you enjoy that? Would you want to be here for that? And then we can all play the game and have a good time with it. PlayStation 2 versions. Let me know if that's a good idea, because I swear I have not touched that game. I mean, it has to be since it first came out, right? I mean, it's forever ago. Hey, Musab El Gal, we have a rule about spamming. You've done it multiple times. Daisy, time him out if he does it again. Thank you. Whatever, we're out of here. Yes, I don't want Goku to get a new form. Dragon Ball has to stop being so fucking lazy. They need to stop being so fucking lazy with a new form. Find new ways to do something with Goku. You know?
I mean, his goal is already fixed, but
Yeah, that's I mean, like I said, Dragon Ball follows like a formula and stuff, but sometimes when you break the formula, it's much better for the fan base,
Yeah, and the whole Frieza upsetting the balance things actually gives me hope that they may do that. I hope that they do something new, because the universe has tended to flow in Goku's favor in the past. So it'd be interesting to see if that changed.
I just wanted to say one more thing to Geekdom, who was talking about the live streams. It's actually funny you mentioned that thing about the Budokai games, because I'm actually working on a 20-year anniversary of Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1. So it's kind of interesting you brought it up. It's approaching, or I think is already at the 20-year gap, and it's crazy to think that game is so old.
I haven't played that game in so long. And here's the other thing too. I thought about doing a video. This is just an idea in my head. I thought about doing a video called something like Dragon Ball 90s games and focusing like or actually I thought about doing a video called Dragon Ball Z on PS1, and basically like a documentary style video going through all the PS1 DBZ games, and then doing Dragon Ball Z on the PS2, the peak of Dragon Ball gaming. That's when we had the most games. That could be a fun. I have these ideas in my head that, you know how it is, bro. You have an idea for a video and it takes like time before it really like kicks in. Jordan sent me an outline for a video, and I really appreciate it. Jordan did a lot of research about Gohan, and that I am going to use your outline and a lot of your points. I'm going to do that probably in December. I think the way I'm going to do.
Man.
Here's what I'm going to do. Here's my plan. I'm giving it away on the channel, but hey, it's cool. So we got Transformation Guide Orange Piccolo coming out like next week or the week after. Then we've got Transformation Guide Gohan Beast. That's coming out November-ish. And then I also have to do Dragon Ball In-Depth Androids, which is going to take a long fucking time because I'm explaining every single Android 1 through 21. That's an hour video maybe. And then we got fucking Cell Explained, which is just going to be about Cell and Cell Max. They get their own little like video. And then the Gohan video will come out. So that's going to be a little while from now, bro. It'll probably... I might actually drop that Gohan video on, like, Christmas Eve or some shit. You know what I mean? Something cool like that, you know?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
So somebody was going to play Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3. I thought about that. Too. I kind of want to do the regular Budokais first, because Budokais have a better story mode, if you ask me, I think.
Well, specifically, only, like, the first Budokai really had, like, a story. The others, they kind of just winged it.
The Oxy said you get into the Famicom era. I might do that too. Yeah, no, you're right. Budokai, you're right about that. Budokai 1 has like the best story mode. I kind of wish, and then two had that like the checkerboard thing or whatever.
Yeah, you're like a moving chess piece, and you have to like walk across the map and shit.
I like that though. I never hated that. I like that idea. And then 3 had the flying gimmick.
Yeah.
You know
and then Tenkaichi kind of like copied what 3 did. Yeah.
You know which one I played most out of those 3 was Budokai 2. Because, like, Budokai 2, Tex had it. He let me borrow it. I played 1, I played 2. Budokai 3, I only played a little bit of. I didn't play that much of it. And then, but I loved it. And then, I played Budokai 2 at Lance's house in, like, 2018. 2017, 2018 was before he moved. And that was like the last time I played it. But besides that, it's been decades, bro. And those games are a lot of fun. But I do want to thank Shin Budokai for the PSP is also fun.
Oh, Final Bout. You're talking about Final Bout.
I did a video on that.
Horrible game, but amazing music. That's
amazing music, and it's the only game where Grade 8 Baby is like playable, bro. AKA fucking Broly, because, you know, Grade 8 Baby and Broly are the same thing now, apparently, bro. That motherfucker's getting cooked for being an idiot, dude. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm out of here. Take care. And I will see you guys this week for more content. Thank you, Quinn. Thank you, Anand. AnimeHunch.com. OnlyFans.com/AnimeHunch. Wait, no, that's not real. Don't go there.
No.
You see Anand's penis.
Only go to Anime Hunt.
Yeah, you're gonna see Anand's penis if you go there, bro. Anand's penis, bro, is gonna be out, bro. And then Jordan, of course, the Dragon Lee. I'm out. Take care. We'll talk soon. And love you guys. Bless you.